And everybody, welcome back to Critters Take On the Tomb of Annihilation. And we are talking about the travel through Chult real quick before we start. This is kind of the general rules of how traveling these hex marks on the map will go. So as you can see on the map, there are these little hexagons that kind of represent how far things are. So one hexagon will equal 10 miles of travel.
10 miles.
Okay. Yeah. So in a normal pace, you will be moving about 1 hex per day. If you are moving along a river, you'll be moving 2 hexes per day.
If we are moving in the river.
If you're moving inside, if you're using the river with canoes, it's 2 hexes per day. Now, during if that's a normal pace. Now, if you wanted to move faster, you absolutely can. You can just say we need to get through this. Go, go, go. But if you go faster, you can the benefit would be you gain an extra hex. So if you move faster on foot, you move 2 hexes per day. If you move faster on the in the water, it will be an extra hex, so it's 3 hexes per day. So normal travel is 1 hex, 2 hex, and then fast travel is 2 hex, 3 hex.
But we get disadvantaged on stuff.
Exactly. So the only downside to traveling fast, though, is a negative 5 penalty to passive wisdom perception checks, and also survival checks to navigate if you are in like a jungle that's uncharted or something. You can also choose to actually go slower. Now, this is up to you, but you can choose to go slower. One of the benefits would be you are able to use stealth in the jungle. But it is a -5 to survival checks to navigate. So it's a little bit harder to navigate while going slower, but you're able to use stealth. You also have the chance of possibly going even slower. So instead of traveling 1 hex per day, normally it would be 0 hexes. You wouldn't be able to get through the hex if you're going super slow. Or if you're on the river going slow, it would only be 1 hex per day. So just kind of think about it as +1, -1 for fast or slow.
Okay.
But yeah, there are, benefits and, negative things that can happen either way. So that will be jungle travel. Weather will kind of affect things, but not necessarily to the point of affecting an entire day's worth of travel. So if anything is going to happen like that, I will mention beforehand just to make sure that everybody's on the same page before choosing how fast they actually want to travel through the day. Another thing, the way our travel through the jungle is going to go. There are going to be several things that happen during the day. There can be encounters that happen during the day. Things that you need to make sure that you are constantly taking care of is, 1, if we have bug spray or bug repellent of some sort, you need to make sure that you're applying that daily. If you are running low on water or you don't have a water source on you at the moment, you need to try and find water. And foraging. I would suggest foraging every day, just as could either be a quick, there's nothing around, or it could be a, wow, you found something incredible thing. So foraging, water, and travel. Travel including, your encounters and stuff like that. But that's pretty much it. Water, foraging, encounter, yeah. Water, foraging, encounter. So, like I said, traveling through the jungle now, you'll notice that the time dilation is going to go a lot faster versus when you guys were in the city. The days kind of seem to drag on even through several episodes. A day can pass on in 10-15 minutes if if we're able to just kind of push through it. All right. Now, again, let's go over what we ended with last time real quick. Last episode, we picked up Eku as our guide. We went to get everything that we needed from the shops. We agreed to meet Eku early on in the before the morning sun rises. We bought a flying monkey. So part of our group it was calming a flying monkey, and we are taking that along with us. We also procured some canoes in order to travel down one of the rivers in a quicker fashion. And before we took off for the morning, there was a bit of celebration still happening in the city because of the Ubtao, the day of Ubtao, Ubtao's reverence. And everybody was partying. We had a few people stay up a little bit later, but other than that, everybody was able to go to bed in time to not miss the morning's deadline. They met up with Eku by the canoe vendor and made their way into their first day of travel through the jungle. So it is early morning, prior to the sun actually even rising, as you make your way outside of the city limits of Port Nyanzaru. The rain continues to pour down. You guys are soaked to the bone, somewhat dry in parts, as some of you have seeked a bit of refuge underneath the canoes as they're being carried above head. And as you make your way into a bit of thin jungle canopy, not super thick jungle canopy, you notice that there are a lot of birds that are, instead of flying above the canopy, are flying low below the canopy. Small birds, colorful parrots, as they seek shelter from the rain. And Eku is just kind of in her stride, almost unaffected by this extremely heavy downpour of rain. You continue on for a little bit, and the sun begins to rise up through the treetops, shooting some rays of sunlight through the very not so thick canopy, but able to actually shoot some rays of sunlight through, but still kind of in a dim, dark location as the rain continues to fall. What do you choose to do through the day?
We
Paddle?
should divide the boats, I guess.
Hold on. I saw Safi try to talk. Your mic was off. No.
Do hints. Hints.
3 words.
Miguel
Link
has.
dolls,
She needs the paper. She needs the paper again.
bug spray.
Okay, she'll
You
come back.
try
again.
taking it off and in again, and then
Yeah.
Okay, so while she tries to figure out her microphone, what else are you guys going to try and figure out?
We want to do the bug spray. Whoever said that.
Yes.
Yeah.
that is.
Okay, so you take some time to
Oh,
find.
she's back.
You take some
But
there.
you're
Perfect.
really low.
So you take some time to. Also, Miguel is missing.
Yeah, he
He's
wrote
using
in
his
the
monitor.
chat.
Oh, okay. I don't have chat open. Sorry, guys. So, hey, also because of that, I don't have chat open in Discord. If there's something said that needs me to shut up or pay attention, just let me know. That way I can open it up. Okay. Bug spray. Yes, you find a tree that is giving you enough cover from the rain to actually apply it without it running off first. Okay. So yeah, if you apply bug spray, please go ahead and mark off one of your bug sprays.
So we should have 39 appliances left.
Did we actually divide those up amongst all of
Yeah.
us?
Yeah.
or-
Yeah,
Okay.
we did.
So everybody got 2 vials worth of
Yeah.
20 applications. And then when you run out, if you run out, I have extra vials.
There you go. So you have 40 applications before you left Port Nyanzaru each.
And then I have 8 vials, just
That's awesome. There you
because
go.
I bought a lot.
It's smart. It's smart. Okay, so yeah, you apply the bug spray and continue on your way. You notice that Eku kind of just waves her hand at you, and she gives you the idea that she put it on before she left.
Oh, she was clever. That's what.
Yeah.
She's been around the block. She knows.
Yeah, put it on before she went out into the rain. That's like a smart choice.
Someone's prepared.
So you continue on, and as you continue, oh, go ahead.
It was just Bax and God names. I'm terrible at names.
Max, Aylin, Cecilia, Safi, Belisra.
Cecilia and Bax was carrying the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
Canoe.
Bax was
Quite lopsided.
Bax was at the front, Cecilia in the back,
Okay.
at an angle.
At an angle. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I was just making sure.
I'm
No problem.
trying.
Yeah.
Yep.
Walking like this. We're having it.
Yep.
Hands above it.
So you continue making your way through the jungles, kind of sloshing your feet through the dense jungle foliage that covers the basin of the actual jungle canopy, pushing aside large leaves and dense forest greenery. And you notice ahead of you that due to the heavy rain, there's a small stream that has been built up in front of you, about 2 to 3 feet in width, but it crosses completely in front of you. And Eku will just kind of pause for a second and let the group kind of catch up. And now you're all kind of gathered together at this point. And you see this small stream. Yes.
It's just when you say things in feet, I get confused because
It is no more than 1 meter in length.
Oh, okay.
So usually we would round
Or
up.
width.
So 3 feet is around a meter. Just
Yes.
under.
Yeah. I
Okay.
actually wrote the conversions on the later I'm serious. I wrote the conversions on the later ones, but I just didn't do it on this one because it was so small. Sorry.
How dare you?
Yeah.
Inclusivity, come on.
I know. I'm trying.
You're playing with Europeans.
Effectively educational.
Um,
All right.
Okay.
So, as I said before, there is a small stream in front of you. What would you like to do?
we can just put one of the canoes down and walk over it. Like,
No, it's not like a rushing river or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just a stream of water that is just out of the, because like it's basically as if like two hills have kind of met up, and it's like just a small stream kind of crossing over.
Tell me how wide it was again.
Just 1 meter. Yeah.
A meter?
Yeah. And
I can like hold everybody's hands while you jump. Like it's fine if you want to cross it.
so Bax, because you are up front with Eku, because Eku is you're kind of side by side with her in the canoe. Bax, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
A perception check.
I'm imagining I'm not even seeing that. I just have this canoe. I also see the people in front of me.
You're kind of obsessed with Eku's swagger through all of this this jungle. She moves so naturally through it.
I'm impressed as a wood elf. This is my terrain. I should
Oh,
be
yeah.
able to walk. I keep up with her.
Your beautiful boots are somewhat ruined with all the mud caking on.
10.
Okay, 10.
For perception.
So with a 10, you look at the stream, and as you kind of give a close look to the stream, you see that there are multicolored tadpoles swimming inside the stream, kind of just stationary but swimming as the current is keeping them stationary. But they're very multicolored. You see like red, green, yellow, orange, purple.
Like it's a meter. Like I can stand with a foot on each side and be fine and help people jump. We don't have to.
It's almost unnecessary that you need to even like do anything. It's just there.
Okay.
let's just walk over it.
Are we making a non-issue into an issue?
I think
Yeah,
we're making
we're
another
very
issue.
good at
Whether or
that.
not the thing is, if these fish are piranhas, that might be a bit.
No,
but
so they're tadpoles.
Probably
They're
not.
little frog things. I don't if that translates.
Yeah.
Baby frogs.
Baby frogs.
Well, not frogs yet.
They don't even have legs yet.
Yeah, the little black sperm-like
But they
things.
could be super voicy.
You could also just point them out to me, and I could take a look at them.
Sure, I'll point them out to Katie.
So what's going on
Is she
with
gonna
the
talk
water?
to them?
And you see the same thing.
No, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm just gonna. Is it just normal tadpoles?
Just normal-looking tadpoles, yeah.
Cool. It's just tadpoles. Let's just
Ask
cross.
them if
this-
they're okay.
Ask them
They
if they're
seem
okay.
fine. They seem like they're having fun with all the water.
Are we going to have to carry a jar of tadpoles?
No,
No.
just I'm gonna like still holding a canoe on one shoulder. I'm gonna stand so I have one foot on each side, and then like reach out my hand to help people get over.
And you do. Everybody kind of crosses and everything like that. And because of the people that are holding the canoes and everything like that, Cecilia, you are the last to cross. So Cecilia, go ahead and roll me a perception check as well.
Sure. Research. Okay. Roll 20. You there? Yeah. 23.
Miguel, did you fall over? What's going on?
No, my cat
What is
is
happening?
doing crazy.
It's like DIY.
It's the
I just
tadpole.
see like Miguel's butt up in the air and like all this boom, 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 boom.
No, my cat is going crazy. So. No, we should be fine.
So everyone has crossed. Bax has even begun to like walk forward, and as you are like stepping over the creek to kind of complete the rest of the group going over, you look over to your right, and unbeknownst to the rest of the group, you see on the right side of the creek the small stream, kind of the part that leads into the jungle, the thicker part of the jungle. You notice a small black creature, almost human-like in form, that stands no more than 30 centimeters tall. You
Okay.
look over, and it's splashing in the water. And it looks up at you, and it has a big white mask on. You know what, in Mario, do you know what a Shy Guy is?
Oh, yeah.
It has a Shy Guy mask on, basically, that has kind of like Cholton-like drawings across it, artwork. And it gives you like a... And it looks at you and realizes that you're looking right at it, and immediately jumps up in the air and dives into the water. Just dives. And disappears.
Swimming towards me, or don't I see
No.
that?
It jumps. Okay, so like the water is maybe 1 inch, or I don't even know how to do, like 3 centimeters.
3 centimeters is like this.
3 centimeters in depth. Jumps up in the air and just almost as if magically just disappearing into the water.
I walk towards it. I want
You,
to see that. Bax, I'm sorry, hold on.
so Bax is
I just slammed into Bax's back like. Oh!
Hold.
Bax begins kind of falling sideways backwards as she looks back, and you look down at the water, and you see ripples where the creature had jumped into the water.
I stick my hand in.
You pull up a clump of mud.
Damn it. Okay.
What are you doing?
Relay that I saw a little creature there with a mask and Chilton lines on it, and it dove into the water.
Let me actually, I'll show you exactly what you saw. That way you get a visual.
And it dove in, and it's gone.
Did it look dangerous to you?
Well, it was like this tall, so no.
That sounds like a normal toad.
I mean, Larry is that tall and he could incinerate you.
Oh my god, that's adorable. I want at least 4 of those.
So you saw these creatures that had just kind of crazy curly hair that almost seemed to flow in the wind, but no wind was present. And these just masks with odd shapes and designs. Yes, unfortunately you don't know the name of the creature,
No,
but that
okay.
would be...
I don't know. Yeah, okay.
yeah, that is what you see.
Maybe try and ask Echo and she can tell you.
Oh yeah, Echo. Echo.
Yeah.
You wait a second, and like the little canoes kind of waver ahead of you, and
Okay, I'll jump over the creek and walk towards her.
okay.
And
Start the whole train again.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is kind of awkward because like Max is just like as you're very excitedly doing something.
I'll take over the canoe from Cecilia.
Oh, that's great.
And
Okay, there you go.
probably dip it even more because of my force.
You're like hold it up and then immediately like drop it onto your shoulders.
I'll help you out. I think I'm under the same canoe. So
Yeah. All right, no problem.
I'm
All right,
probably
Cecilia,
under
you
the
approach the
canoe,
front.
right? So I'm just spread with one leg, awkwardly
Pretty much.
split and holding the thing.
Yep, there you go.
I'm by Echo now, and I'm like, hey, Echo, I just saw some kind of strange black, white masked creature, this tall, by that little creek we saw over there. Do you know what that is?
She immediately kind of like she smiles in a sense of like just pure happiness, almost just elated, and she looks over at you. She looks at you as you describe what you had seen just now, and she says, "Nothing but good omens come for us. You have seen a chwinga. They are the nature spirits here in Cholt. They do not show themselves to just everybody."
Well, I don't think it wanted to show himself to me because he dove away right when I saw him.
They are fickle creatures, yes. But, again, nothing but good omens.
We need those.
I agree.
Okay.
Let us be on our way. Maybe we could find more.
I'll keep an eye out.
And you continue walking along the path that has been kind of etched out by people who have come out for foraging purposes or whatever. But you notice that the forest begins to start to thin or dense, become more dense as you make your way towards the direction that you're supposed to be going. It becomes a little bit more difficult with each and every step to kind of cut away maybe some vine that's in your way or a large plant or tree or something like that. And you continue making your way on. About halfway through the day, the rain itself has lowered in intensity. And around noontime, the canopy is darkening the area. So even though it might be midday, it is still almost nighttime-ish under this large canopy. You continue moving forward, and you see, as you move forward, a set of low-hanging, what looks like fruit in front of you. Just kind of dangling above head. You see one is yellow and one is green.
Can I make a nature check to know if those are edible?
Go for it.
Can I look them up in my... Oh, you can go first.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have the nature book of normal plants,
And I have the magic... I have the... what's it called?
but I don't know if we should.
Magical herbs and where to find them.
Yeah, but I don't know if we should stop every time we see a new plant and be like, "What is this?"
So, Miguel,
It'll be a very long journey.
with an 11, you have seen this fruit before. And with the party you were with earlier, you know them as kaku fruits.
Kaku fruits.
And Eku will reach up and grab the yellow one. And she will kind of plunge her thumbs into it and peel it apart. And much like a gourd, this nicely yellowed fruit looks extremely juicy, and she offers a few of you the pieces.
Is it only good when it's yellow?
She will look at you and she says, "Yes, the green are extremely bitter."
Do they have any other uses?
Food? And Echo just kind of shoves it
No,
in her
I
mouth.
mean, like the green one, does it have any other use?
It has not ripened yet. We don't see
okay,
any
it's
other
just-
use for it at that point.
Okay. Okay, it's just not ready yet. Okay, cool.
If the captain starts asking for food again, maybe he'd like that.
At this point, he's just kind of crawling around underneath your coat. Just kind of.
Yeah. Are there any more of the yellow fruits?
You don't see any more yellow fruits, but you see several green fruits.
Oh, okay. That's not going to be useful.
Okay.
I'll have some of the fruit.
Or is it? Yeah. I'll take the
Alright.
I'll take the piece she handed to me, and then I'll eat half. Give the other half to Captain.
Okay. Yep. If you finish off, there's like one small piece left, and Kalimbar, you can take it. The fruit's not huge; it's just a small fruit, so able to pass it to a few people. But you guys take notice, and
Can I take some of the? Can I take 2 of the green ones and just keep them until they're ripened?
sure if you'd like.
Are they
So
gonna
you-
ripen when
you-
they're not on the?
You
I don't know. I guess.
you pluck
Oh, that's right.
you pluck 2 of them from the tree. So you have 2 kaku fruits.
That tastes just
green.
like honey.
2 green kaku fruits.
I like these.
Eku wipes her mouth. They are delicious. And you continue on. As you continue on, the day begins to kind of drone on, and the rain comes to a subtle drizzle. Not very much water, just almost a mist in the night. And you are all able to set up camp for the night. Eku kind of grabs some tinder that she has in her pack to kind of start a small fire.
Yeah, I'll just firebolt it so that it lights up.
She's there trying to light it, and as she does, just she kind of backs away.
Very nice.
And I just go.
She kind of lands in the mud behind her, just like, okay,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I should have warned you.
maybe a
I'm sorry.
little bit of warning next time. Yes.
I was just helping out. Don't worry.
Still have eyebrows?
Roll for singed eyebrows.
What is that percentile?
That's how much
Oh, do
percentage
it.
is missing.
Do it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Oh no!
Oh,
That's
it's
gonna be interesting fan
52
art.
left. 52.
Okay, so yeah, like half of her eyebrows are singed. They're not missing, but they're thin. They're thinned out a bit.
I'll find my mess kit and then just start a big batch of dinner for everybody.
Excellent.
Sounds good.
Are there any? I'll go. Is anybody want to forage with me? Try and find some food.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'll
will
go.
help you.
I'll hand you my book of normal plants that I already forgot what it was called, which I learned like 2 hours ago. Where is it?
Guide to find.
So who's going to forage?
Yeah. So yeah, and here's the deal with foraging.
Oh, yes.
I with foraging, I'm totally down like with role playing the fact that there are several people going, but just like much of D&D, it's either one person rolls twice or 2 people roll once,
Okay.
and it's up to you to decide who you would like to roll.
Then
What
I'll
kind of
give my
roll is
plus
it?
2 somewhere.
Nature?
That one's-
Survival?
What
It
is
would be survival. It would be survival. Trying
One
to find.
second. But I do have a spell that could help with this because I have locate animals or plants. Just
When everyone's out foraging, I want to quickly pull Aiden aside.
Yeah.
Okay,
Quick
so let's
side
take care
check.
of the foraging real quick first. So for the first part of this, because you have the book, are you trying to cast a spell?
Yeah, I do. I have look. Yeah, I'm gonna try and find something that looks like a nurturing food in the book, and then I'll cast locate plants and animals to find it. Well, I'm gonna sit down and concentrate on it for 10 minutes.
You should try the berry that I. Oh no, wait, never mind. You didn't hear that. It was out of character.
Yeah. All right. No. Okay. Safi. All right. Would you like to try and search?
Well, I think I'll assist someone. I think
Okay. So someone can roll with advantage then, I assume.
Oh, I'm also giving advantage, so everyone.
Okay.
Just...
I have +4 to survival, but if I'm doing the spell, then I'll find that specific plant within 5 miles.
Right.
There we go.
So I don't know if I need to roll, but I can also roll to find like other food.
That's what I was gonna have you roll for.
Okay.
It's not a matter of you finding stuff at this point because of where you guys are located. There are gonna be sufficient food for you guys.
Oh, okay.
But it's more of a matter of if you're finding anything special.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. I have plus. Should I do it? Or
Yeah,
does
you're
anybody
gonna be
else?
rolling. Yeah, you're gonna be
I have
rolling with
the same,
advantage.
so it's fine.
With advantage. Cool.
We're just bringing you exciting looking plants, and you have to shake your head or not.
Yeah. That. Yeah. I think you were distracting.
Like having a kindergarten, like
11.
What is this?
11 with advantage and a +4.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. I rolled a 5 and a 7.
So for the first day, you do find a suitable amount of innocuous berries that you are able to basically take back to the party. Each person getting about 3 or 4 berries. It's not a ton, but it's enough to hold everybody over for the night.
I can do that spell to find like a specific plant too if we need more food than that.
Right. So your specific plant that you were looking for, I assume, would be one of your magical ones, or are you looking for just food?
Oh, yeah, that would actually be smarter if I did the magical one. I'm gonna look through my magical book to find one for like healing potions.
Okay. So you cast a spell after about 10 minutes of concentrating.
Yeah, concentrating like in the book. Yeah.
When you run through the gamut of different fruits and roots and whatever's necessary to make these healing potions, nothing comes in the moment.
Okay.
Kalimbar and Aelin.
So there's no within 5 miles.
Yeah, within 5 miles you don't.
Okay,
You
cool.
don't.
That's not good.
Kalimbar, Aelin.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yes.
How are you holding up, my friend?
I feel dirty.
It kind of
My
shows.
boots are dirty. I don't like it, but I'll manage. How are you doing?
I like it here. This is much more to my taste. It's like where I grew up. Yes. The woods, the plants are strange though, but it's kind of like coming home.
Yes, well, I've only been to your home once, so yeah. I had the vacation version of your home.
True. You had a tour of the house, but not through the forest, right?
No, no. Well, the forest is a strange place. I don't get the appeal, honestly, but I'll do.
Yes. I'll take you for a walk sometime. I'll show you some nice things. I've seen some very nice flowers already.
Some flowers?
Yes. Bit of an aside though.
Yes.
Did you sleep well?
I slept okay. A
No.
bit little maybe, but it was okay.
Any dreams of note?
Not me per se. Have you been having any dreams, Kalimbar?
I have troubling ones, in fact.
Troubling dreams?
Yes. I felt like... I'm not sure, they could be good omens or bad, but there has been this unease ever since, you know, we heard about the snake people.
Yes.
Ever since Felistra found her snake. I'm not...
Yes. That I don't like that snake hanging around, to be honest, but well... I mean, it is a literal snake. They don't just say people are snakes for no reason, it's because snakes are snakes.
It's a split tongue, all lies.
Yes,
Um, I have a favor to ask of you.
of course.
Should anything happen to me on this trip,
Don't be like that, Kalimba. Don't be like that.
alright, then just remember, you have
Yes.
your book, I have mine.
Yes,
If something happens, take mine with you. Alright?
I will, but you'll be taking it home yourself.
I
Don't worry,
can do so.
I'll make sure you'll make it through. Don't worry.
Yes, and when we
Look
get
at
home,
me, all fumbling up my words. You're making me feel
emotions. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Yes, Kalimbar, I tell you, you don't have to doubt yourself. Now, you know?
I mean, I haven't earned my true name yet, so a little bit of doubt should be right.
You'll be fine. I've seen what you can do.
Thank you. That means a
Don't
lot.
worry. Don't worry.
That means quite a lot.
Yes. Don't worry, friend.
Let's see if we can help with the fire
Yes.
or something else.
Is there any place that there is something dry here? I have to work on my spell book a little bit, and it's all wet here. I
I'll
don't
have-
like it.
You
I'll
turn
help
to
you
the
find a
side.
nice tree.
You turn to the side, and you've noticed Eku has already started and almost completely finished a makeshift shelter of sorts from the sticks and the large, like banana leaf like greenery, and she's created almost a small domicile, big enough to fit maybe 2 people in size, and she's currently showing Bax how to kind of set it up for the rest of the group.
Ah, excellent. That will work.
I think I can help Bax out for a while. Good
Sure.
luck with those spells.
Don't worry, I'll be fine. It's what I do.
Yes, Cecilia.
Is there a place big enough for a tent? To set up a tent?
Yeah, currently, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, then I'm gonna start setting up my tent.
The canopy
God,
is
you
no.
bought a
No, I have a tent. What? Why did you buy a tent?
No, I
Jungle!
like this is me saying I should have bought a tent. Why did
Yeah.
I buy a tent?
Okay.
So out of the large pack that she has, kind of like on her back, she just pulls and pulls a large collapsible tent out of her, out of her pack, capable of fitting 1 person because it is a small carryable, or 2 people, carryable tent. So
Yep.
she does
Is
have
there
that.
Settled
a tent
in there.
in the Explorer's pack?
Yeah, there's one in the Explorer's back.
Yeah,
Then I
mean,
should have a tent.
Yeah, I have one as well. I have an Explorer's bed.
Yeah, I'm just the only one who doesn't. Have
It's okay.
It's okay.
Well,
Eku doesn't have one either.
Like, I didn't think it was gonna be important. It was gonna be in the jungle, like open air. That's great. I didn't think rain.
Sleep under the stars. I'm
Yeah.
right with you.
The jungle is literally called rainforest most of the time.
No. Then it would be the rainforest. It's the jungle.
Yeah, no, same.
All right. So
Oh.
as for you gather back up, you munch on some berries that were gathered, and you kind of continue on, your talks for the night. How do you want to set up the nighttime, making sure people don't die during the night? A lot of times, groups will set up maybe different watches during the night. They will, maybe have someone wake up after a certain amount of time to make sure everything's okay and then go back to sleep. It's up to you guys how you want to set that up.
We are
I'll
8
have-
people. We should be able to do 4 watches, right?
Yeah, I'll have Larry up in a tree somewhere, just looking around. He can wake me up when something's coming by that he can see.
Okay.
Before night starts, do I have time to read some in the book that I got at the book, in order to work towards learning to read?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I
Yep.
would
Yeah.
also like to work a little bit on making a map of where we're going. And I know that this is just charted areas, but I would like to, sort of start making a habit out of it and practicing stuff.
Sure. And I'll just assume also that you're kind of doing exactly what I'll be doing on the map when you guys travel, to
Yeah.
kind of like tick off where you guys are actually located, so you guys don't get utterly lost.
Yeah, when we've set up some tents, I'll be working in my in my book, adding.
Oh,
Is-
Aelin died. You're adding what?
Oh.
I'm adding Featherfall to my spell list. I'm copying the scroll.
Very nice. Okay.
I'll just take my books and sit right next to him to make it a little nerd corner.
Nice. No problem. With the glow of the
you-
fire, you get a little bit of light enough to be able to see writing.
Excellent.
I will go into the nerd corner too.
Okay.
And I will try to look over Alien's shoulder to see what spells he has in that book.
Oh, I'll just tilt my book to you a little bit, and
Okay.
let you look as I'm just copying the spell. I'm working out. The
When
spell
you look at it,
additions and
when you
everything.
look at it, Velisra, it looks like gibberish. It looks
Oh,
like
yeah.
what the fuck? Doesn't
And you-
look like
you
a
would-
language you
you
would
would-
know.
You would also see the page that I'm writing on is one that is empty, and I'm scribbling the new spell. On the other side, there's a spell in a completely different handwriting.
How does that work? Isn't that your own grimoire?
Well, no,
No.
this is a family heirloom.
Oh, I see. That's quite interesting. So your family members were wizards.
What do you mean?
So your ancestors were wizards too.
Yes, this is my father's book.
He stopped being a wizard.
You're cutting out a little bit. I can't
Oh.
hear you very well.
He stopped being a wizard.
Yes, he did. Well, it's hard to be a wizard when you die.
That is right.
Yes.
My apologies. I didn't know.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
You told me your father was the right hand of something.
Yes, he was.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I have dealt with it.
Right.
Yes, and I now have his book.
Yes, I know what it is. Apparent, but
Yes.
it's never easy. Never
No,
really.
it's not. It's not. Especially, when your dad is the big honcho, the one everyone thinks, "Oh, look, there he is." And I'm like the son that just keeps trying, but
Yeah, so you
Fine.
attempt. Maybe that would be why you came here to step out of your father's shadow.
I try.
Interesting. I see.
Yes.
Well, if you do find a way to end this curse, you will be a completely different person from your father. You will have your
Probably
own
yes.
titles, your own history, your own.
Well, I already have titles. I inherited a lot of them, but
Yes, but that's not your.
that's not the same.
You're not the one who.
Ex-
You're not the first
exactly.
of the name. You
Exactly.
get that
And I
title
have
from-
I have been riding the wave of his accomplishments for all my life, and it's been a bit, the last year since he died has been a little bit of a revelation for me. I'm working on making my own name.
That is a good idea.
For what it's worth, I'd never heard of your father, and I've sort of seen what you can do, and I like you the way you are.
Oh, thanks. No, I've
Nerd.
learned most of the things I've learned from my father.
Yeah.
I was mostly homeschooled for about 20 years.
That
Wow.
must have been nice to have all this education. You.
That is true, but most of the education went to my sister, but I was more of the slacking off kind of type.
I see. But still 20 years. That's
Yes,
quite a lot.
I have picked up some things.
Well, I would imagine after 2 decades.
Yes. Did you study somewhere?
I did not. My mother, as I told you, died when I was very young. I had to manage with the streets myself, water deep.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, I didn't have enough.
And did you on your
Mentors.
own, or did you have someone to help you?
Oh, you know, when you're on the streets, it's always vary. You are with some people one day and the next week with other people. You quickly learn not to trust too quick. You quickly learn how to defend yourself above all and self-preservation first. That is why I didn't die with my group before you guys. I can understand. I can understand how that doesn't make me look very good. Still,
No, but I can't imagine, not having people around me.
well, basically, my youth was trying to talk my way out of things, or to manipulate people against others, or steal, or trying to not be eaten alive by dogs or strays. So, yeah, that is also why I don't like fluffy things.
That is a tough life.
Yes, that was pretty rough, but it made me more resilient today, let's say.
You feel a bit of
Made me-
movement along your head as you speak.
I will look at my, well, not really look at my head, but
Good luck with that one.
yeah, I don't have a mirror, so I'll put my hand in the hat. Probably it's the snake.
It's calm. It's shifting. Feels like it's shifting to try and find a comfortable, warm position along your head.
Okay.
Tell me, Velizra,
Yes.
this snake.
Yes.
Do you think if it wasn't under your charm, it would remain?
To be quite honest with you, I have no idea. I don't know beasts very well. This is why I've come to charm them supernaturally, because I don't really like them that much.
Then why keep it around?
Well, I'll keep it around because I can milk poison out of it and can use it.
That's true, but I wouldn't like having this thing with me that doesn't really want to be around me.
Oh, well, you know how enchantments work. They're kind of compelled to be with you. I've relied on enchantments and illusions.
I
That's why
tend
you-
not to mess with other people's minds.
Oh,
I never
Why not?
really liked that part, the enchantment school.
why not?
It felt cheating. Do
But
you understand? I mean,
Did you never bribe anyone?
no. I mean,
You never bribed
I-
anyone.
I used my name and my connections, but I never bribed anyone.
And how is using your name and your connection that has been given you at birth different than my gifts that have been given me at birth to control other people?
I am not compelling someone magically.
No, you're
No.
compelled that you're compelling them socially.
There's a difference to me.
And where's the difference
It's
in
a
that?
code. It's a code. It's a
And
code.
what's that code?
Well, if you're using your influence, a person can always say no. When you're magically compelling someone, he cannot say no.
Can they though? If you are a high noble and you compel a low peasant to do something against his or her will, they can't really say no to you. You'll just have them executed.
Use it to,
Aelin is baffled.
and use it to get out of trouble.
I never use my enchantments, my illusions, to bring someone to their end, to their demise. I use it to get myself out of peculiar situations. Maybe
Yeah.
sometimes help a little for a little benefit too, but who doesn't? Really.
True. No, you're pretty close to Cecilia, right?
Well, I've known her for 2 days, and I've spoken to her for like maybe 2 hours total, but
Oh, that's
I suppose-
more than most of us are probably.
I suppose in our trade it's kind of related to clothes, yes. Why is that?
Yes. Well, she seemed to have magical powers, and she always said to me that she didn't have any. I wonder why she kept it secret. I mean, I am a wizard. What she was doing appeared to be wizardly, but she kept it secret. It's strange.
Yes, but sometimes, Aelin, our families aren't as supportive about magical powers than yours.
Well, it's hard for me to understand that because I've always had quite a magical family, so it's
I can imagine
weird.
it's a completely different reality.
Exactly. There are a lot of things about these sorts of occasions that are new, so I'm eager to learn.
I'll learn
But
you
it's
well.
it's hard to understand sometimes. You understand, I think.
It is hard to understand sometimes, but with greater wisdom and perception, we can try and at least comprehend what others are
True.
going through.
So
But if
let
you
me
are
let
so.
me.
Yes,
I was going to say, let me show you this spell.
I was going to say if you are curious about Cecilia's motivations to hide her magic powers, you should ask herself.
Yes, but she also, this is between you and me, she also sort of frightens me a little bit.
Why is that?
It's her eyes. It's a
Well-
bit the same as with Bax. She also has those eyes that can see through your soul.
Well,
Whoa.
if my eyes don't frighten you, I suppose those shouldn't be a big issue. With the, like, legend Ember with, like, cat's eyes, pupils, I think you should be
Well,
fine.
I
You
mean,
would be fine.
it's easy to do that, and like minor illusion, and I make my eyes look the same. I'm like,
Yes, but those are an illusion.
yes, those are your real eyes.
They are.
I like them. I think they're very pretty.
Thank you. I didn't get that very often. I got more of a monster vibe from it than of other people. So that really, thank you very much.
No, they're unique and they're special and different. I like different.
Then you must really like me.
Well, I didn't want to say because you're kind of cool, and I didn't want to, scare you off. So, but yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. I think you've been really brave that encounter on the bridge.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish I could have been there.
I wish I could
You-
have, been more help.
Well, I kind of made it hard for you, but yeah.
I almost
Isn't
hit
that
that
enough?
one guy. The dead one.
Well, there was darkness everywhere, so who is to say who you hit or missed?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe some small child down below.
Oh, that was not what I was expecting. Anyways.
Cecilia,
I like look up out of my book like, child.
No, child.
Cecilia, as you finish putting up your tent, Eku kind of comes out of the side of maybe a dense part of the forest, kind of moving like one of the big banana leaves out of the way. And she looks at you, and she's carrying a hot cup of tea, and she just looks at you and looks at the tent that you set up, and she's like, "Well, that's much easier." Huh.
Yeah.
She takes a sip of her tea and then continues to walk past you, back
Enjoy.
into hers.
Did you put it up with your back to the other tent?
Pretty much, yeah.
And how do you guys want to go ahead and set up the watch for the night?
I'll
We
take
should
first watch.
probably have like 1 hour and 50 minutes each, so we'll have like,
Alright.
Well, I only need 4 hours of rest, so I can take the rest of the watch.
that's right. You sleep for 4 hours?
It's meditation.
Larry will be up there. Larry will be up there all time.
Hey, yeah, I know. Okay.
And I'm not really useful because I don't really see in the dark.
Okay, so Cecilia, you want to take first watch?
Yeah, I'll take
But I can
Okay.
take the last one. Like
Um,
when the sun gets up.
I can
Is there
join
a watch
Cecilia.
when there's enough lights for the humans?
So the way we'll do
Never.
the way we'll do watch is in three. Okay, so we'll have kind of like early night, midnight, and then early morning kind of watch.
Which
so-
which one of those would a human be able to actually fade in?
Early morning, I think.
Yeah, basically just not the midnight one.
Okay.
I'll
'Cause
take
then
the
I would
midnight.
like to take the first one.
You go.
I'll
Okay.
take whatever.
take the last one.
Not night vision, so it's a dark vision. I mean,
Double up on the watches. That's smart.
That's fine. Kalimbar, if you want to just be asleep for the first watch and then you can be awake for the rest of the time, that's
works.
totally, yeah, that's totally
Or
on
you
you
could
too.
also stay up with us, like for the first part, if you want to.
Yeah, it's totally up to you how you want to do it for
I
the
don't know.
time being. Okay, so first watch, we said was I believe Katie. Katie was first watch.
Katie and Bax.
Katie and Bax. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, we're not. I know. I think we're going to do like.
Yeah,
one
we
to two
can.
people?
Yeah.
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 Okay, you want to do 2 people at a time. That's
Yeah.
okay. That's
Yeah.
that's great. Okay.
what about
So-
Echo? She just goes sleep.
She's just drinking her tea right now. You can tell her whatever you
Oh.
want. You
No,
can ask her
okay.
to do something if you want.
No.
She's
Is
just
there
the
anything
guide.
special we should look out for on watch?
Anything
Movement.
big that growls.
Yeah, sure. But is there anything? I don't know. I was gonna say unnatural, but we would probably notice that anyway. Yeah.
Are there any other good things like the Chwinga?
Many of Ubtao's children are good.
How can we recognize the not so good ones?
They'll probably be
Sharp
hanging.
teeth.
Good
So
point.
Scribble that down.
Anything else?
Not really. Sharp teeth is probably the most important. Sharp claws, that isn't always a telltale of an evil creature.
As we talk about this, I will just make up my tent and my water catcher, since I'm training, so we could refuel our skins.
Awesome. Okay, so water catcher is out for the night. Okay, she'll tell you that there's really nothing telltale yet that is dangerous other than, large dinosaurs with teeth and movement. Any kind of movement, just play it safe.
Cool.
All right, so first watch, I need Katie and I need Bax to go ahead and roll me either with advantage or individually roll me a perception check.
What do you want to do?
Both is fine with me.
Both is fine.
And for every successive,
running perception.
yes, perception. Every successive night after this will be the watch. So just keep whatever watch you have going on.
I found my new book and I'm not really paying attention. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
So much for a
I
watch.
actually had a thing I wanted to do at the same. Oh wait, I rolled better than you. I rolled 10 total.
10 total. Excellent.
Yeah.
We're dead, guys. First night.
Yeah.
I was gonna.
First night, T-Rex comes out of the... No.
Yeah, I was gonna say to Katie, I was like, hey, can I take 10 minutes when everybody's gone to bed? I wanna take 10 minutes and try and think about Toby, my old Mastiff partner, and try and remember how he was and how he moved and how he fought, and I'm gonna try and change into him.
All right, go for it. Roll a. Let's see. You are druid. Roll a wisdom check. Just a
that's
general
much
wisdom.
General wisdom. Man, that's 17.
17. Yeah. So as you concentrate on the dog that you were essentially raised with, had a lot of training with, and felt a strong connection with, you begin to feel yourself arching over in unexpectedly as your hands touch the ground, and slowly they become thinner, but your hands become thicker, paw-like, and your back kind of arches for a second, and you finally finish your transformation, and you are now a large mastiff.
Yeah. I jump around in excitement, and I jump over to Bax and
A large slobbery
tumble her down and yeah.
Yeah. You get tackled by a
I'll
large
give her
mastiff.
belly rub.
Yeah.
So we are
tail
playing. We're
wagging.
not on watch. We are playing.
Yeah, that's why.
Let's find a stick.
The
Unless
time.
I can re-roll with the master.
Yeah.
'cause that's
So
a
the
bit-
time
that's
passes.
shit, but no.
Yeah, unfortunately, the time passes that you guys were on watch, and midnight comes around for second watch. So second watch will be Kalimbar and Cecilia.
Oh.
Over Lysra.
Yeah.
Wait, how
Melissa, it doesn't matter. I'm not either.
Okay, so we'll do Velisra, and then we'll do you last, Cecilia, since you are,
Sure.
half elf or whatever. And so we will do Velisra and Kalimbar. Go ahead and roll me a perception check, please.
Let's both do one, because that will be the most interesting.
We both roll one?
how
Yes.
long
Let's roll
can
one.
I stay in beast form?
I'm on a 23.
17.
Nice.
I have dark vision up to 120 feet too, if it matters anything.
Nice. Okay. So as you both kind of stay awake and give a good vigilant eye, the only thing you notice during the night, you do notice a large tree that has like a big knot in it, like a big hole kind of situated in the center of it, and you see a small family of monkeys kind of slumbering inside of it, all kind of stacked on top of each other.
I imagine this is like a completely awkward. We're on both sides of the camp, but it's in silence.
Basically, yeah. I will try and cast Animal Friendship on the monkey.
Animal friendship on the monkey?
Yeah.
Okay. It's asleep at this point, so you don't know whether or not it has gone off.
Oh, okay.
Gonna be like a big
But I meant the family of the monkey that just passed through.
I'm sorry?
I meant the monkeys in the tree that you just
Yeah,
told us about.
they're all asleep. They're all like,
Okay, they-
asleep
okay.
inside of the knot of the tree. Just kind of
Okay,
laying on
well,
top of each other, like you have like several
I'll
babies
cast it
kind of laying
and
on top.
not know if whatever
Exactly.
happens. Yeah,
Right.
okay. Well,
And after a bit of time, keeping an eye on them, and then also kind of keeping an eye on the rest of the jungle, you don't see any movement, no nothing. But you do notice that the rain begins to dissipate almost to a halt. There is small drips coming from the canopy still as the water is running down the rest of the foliage at this point. And that nothing happens for the rest of that watch. And last watch, Cecilia and Safi.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll a perception, please.
Okay.
I'll be praying for spells then, so I'll be way too distracted.
No problem.
7.
Okay.
I'm way too distracted.
Wow, Team Rogue.
Safi, you go through the night, reading your book and eventually kind of looking up and then continuing your studies, but you don't see anything. Actually, Cecilia, your tent begins to kind of like fall over as it wasn't put together like fully, and you begin to like maybe struggle to keep your tent up and kind of put it back up to where it was after the rain has in the winds and everything had shifted it during the night.
I'll help you build it back up if I can sleep in it tomorrow.
I'm okay.
Okay.
All right.
So,
All right, and the morning comes. The rain has stopped.
It's surprising we're all alive with all those bad rolls.
First night.
Yeah. Does it mean if we can't see anything? Does it mean there actually is something?
No.
Exactly. That doesn't mean there's something that you totally missed, but
We wake
Yeah.
up. and
for now you didn't
family
die.
of
That's good.
T-Rexes Looking at it.
Just like 4 T-Rexes just
drool and drizzle just like,
yeah, and Cecilia is just like building her tent. No, okay.
I'll make a big breakfast for everyone when we start waking up.
You
Like,
awake.
what food?
Yeah, you awake to the sounds of birds chirping, parrots cawing in the distance, monkeys, letting out their calls deep within the forest, and you also hear like the light drizzle of rain again, still continuously falling from the nights, the entire days previously, in order to kind of finally find rest within the muddy basin of the jungle that you're in.
And while I'm putting around and making breakfast, I'll ask Echo how far it is to the river.
It is a 3-day travel to the river. We are but 1 day in, and so 2 more days, and we will be there.
Okay.
I'll reapply the bug repellent.
Yeah,
Yes, same.
me too.
Yes.
Okay,
I'll
everybody do it.
refill my water skin, if I can use Felicia's water cap.
So yeah, Belisra,
I
you look
will,
you look at your thing, and it has gathered about 4 gallons of water.
how many water skins can I fill with that?
You could fill 4. I'm sorry, you could fill 8 water skins with 4 gallons.
Like
Okay.
how many water skins does one person use per day?
About 2 water skins worth.
Okay.
Okay, so I will refill the 2 I used yesterday.
You had 10 right backs.
Yeah,
That you
something
had
like
filled,
that.
That you had already filled, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, when we need water, I have, I think, some ways to pray for it. Do a nice dance, I think. If you would join, I think we can pray out a nice amount of water.
I'll do
I
a read.
literally have half a backpack full of water right now, but yeah,
I don't
let's
care,
do
I
that.
Wait, what were you saying?
I want magical dance water.
I love the notebook.
I thought I could make water too, but apparently I can't find the spell. I
Hold
think
on.
I lost the
I
spell.
want to show. I need to show the stream this book.
Okay.
Hold on. Look at this freaking book. No, put the book back up. Put the book back up.
Look in
No,
the notebook.
I want to see the cover. It's too good. She's trying to find spells, and this is all we see. Look how she's trying to do it. Oh, it's too good.
Isn't it beautiful? This is my other character, so for another campaign. I already hate being a druid.
Yeah, it's rough.
just saying.
All right.
I thought
Sorry.
I had that spell too, but apparently I cannot make water. That just seems weird. Oh yeah, I can. Wait, so-
Actually,
I,
Katie.
I wouldn't know. Yeah. Sorry.
Speaking about, calling out for blessings, you asked me about healing, right?
Yeah.
Curing insanity?
Yeah.
If you have some time, we can start some lessons.
That would be amazing.
So we can say throughout the
Tell me when
days, throughout the days, while you guys are walking, you guys can talk it out and practice as you like.
How long do I have to keep
Could
doing
you
this dance, Callum?
Cecilia?
We haven't started yet.
Sappy's already.
Could you teach me how to make water too? Do you think I? Wait,
Yeah.
is that a thing?
Follow my moves, alright?
God.
Oh god. I'll
Who's
just
joining
prepare
me?
the spell 1 second. I hadn't prepared the spell for today yet.
Okay.
I'm
Because
just watching. I'm just watching this. I'm like, oh, he's going to do his thing again.
Cecilia, before they even get into it, is there something you want to?
Wait, have they
Yeah,
actually?
I just want to take some time and scribble down like a sketch of the chewinga that I saw yesterday in my notebook,
You got it.
and also doodle the tadpoles that I saw.
Okay. Cool.
I'm gonna see how much water we can summon.
So,
we get a lot.
Kalimbar, I'm gonna need you to roll a performance check, please.
A performance check, alright.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're trying to show them this water dance,
I'm also dancing.
Yes, yes.
Oh, he's gonna teach me. Is that another?
Oh, performance 15.
okay. So with a
But
15, you are able
I
to
am-
kind of give them this. You know, it's
It's like
over the
primal
top.
dance.
You know, you
It's like-
don't need to do that, but you know, it feels good. It feels
I'm
right.
having so much fun.
Oh, it makes
know-
10 gallons.
It makes 10 gallons, which is, in European measurement, about 38 liters.
Oh,
What are we gonna do with 38 liters of water?
Yes.
That's so,
So-
much.
Times 2, because he's
As-
teaching me to do it, which means I will also do the spell.
As you all do
Everything. We
this,
just fill a canoe.
yeah. As you all do this, Eku is like getting all her stuff like packed up and putting it in. She kind of looks over at you and just continues to do it and shakes her head.
I'll try to replicate his movements and see if I can do the spell.
You
too.
do so. You have the spell prepared at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it's a
no,
nice
I
array.
knew that I had it prepared. It was more that
Does it like appear in just?
if like I don't
giant-
know if I can do magic,
of
but
range?
I would know if I
Yeah.
can create
There's somewhere like on the edge of the camp where we're dancing around it. There's this like 30 feet, 10 meters wide cloud, and it just starts drizzling like continuously.
Calabar, I'm
like-
trying to pack up while everything is dry. Please stop that.
Yeah, Eku.
Maybe you
Eku.
should
At this
put
point,
the water things that water catches out.
so at this point, Eku was like, "It wasn't supposed to rain today. What?" And she looks up and she's, "What is this?
This is Hanali's blessing.
This is
Which
not a
apparently-
blessing.
This was granted to Safi. It's very clear.
We just spent all day yesterday in the rain. Safi, stop being silly. We need to move."
Yes, Safi, stop being silly. We need to move.
Sorry. Okay.
So we fill the rest of our water skins. Like
Yes.
I know how to walk.
Yep. Everybody takes the time to go ahead and pack away everything that they need. Everybody's canteen has been refilled, and you guys down a good amount of water before heading out. And also, you have applied your bug spray, so make sure that you mark it off.
And I'll
Shall
get
I ask you-
before. Oh, I need to do one thing. This is very important because when the dance is done and everyone has been beamed to Safi, I will give her a hug and tell her you did very well. That was a good
Aw,
dance. It was quicker than anything. I've
Safi, roll a
experienced.
performance check real quick.
We can't hear you.
1 second. 11.
It was mediocre.
That's what I strive for on a good day.
Mediocrity.
You didn't fall in the mud, so you know that's a win.
Probably
Okay.
lean into the hug a little bit more than I probably need to.
Oh, Calamar is an awkward hugger. He can keep this hug on forever. He doesn't.
Guys, we need to go. Knock it
We're
off.
getting a late start today.
Eku has already begun walking.
Shoulder tap.
She
you
grabs
know.
she grabs like one end of the canoe and just like drags it through a bit of mud. Okay.
Can I ask a DM question?
Yes, what's up?
So I have this divine health thing because I'm a paladin. But it says that I'm immune to diseases. Would that make the bug spray the not?
I mean, it would make
Do
it to
anything?
where you wouldn't get diseases.
but I
but,
would still be annoyed
you-
by the bugs.
Well, you don't know if diseases are the only thing that bugs have.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Nothing then. Let's go.
Say,
All right.
do we want to double time it today? Get maybe a little bit quicker to the river?
Yeah, that could be good. And tomorrow we can enter the waters.
Yes.
How safe is this area, Echo?
It is close to Port Nyanzaru. It's much safer than the rest of the jungle.
Sure, let's
Then
try
I would
to
be
make
fine
some
with it.
speed.
So would you recommend us doing double speed, or not?
It is completely up to you. I know that it is much more dangerous to move faster, but in this sense of time, it could benefit us.
I think it's a great idea, Aiden.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys want to move double speed today?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, let's try.
Okay, so I'm going to roll to see if you get the extra little bit.
That's right. Did the monkey family join me, or did they just leave?
By the time you guys woke up, they were still asleep.
Oh.
Yeah, they were
When the
still
hug
asleep
was
in their
done,
tree.
were they still asleep?
Were they normal monk? Yeah, sorry.
What do you mean when the hug was done? You didn't go over and hug the monkeys.
No. The hug between Kal and Safi. Yeah.
No.
That
no.
took ages. No.
Oh, that is true. I forgot about that. Yeah. No, they didn't wake
feel
up
like-
during the 20 minutes that hug took.
I feel like by the time we get back, we're gonna have like an entire petting zoo with us.
Yeah.
If we're not all dead, then it's just gonna be animals everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm all
right.
for
Career
it.
options.
So
Well,
I,
dinosaurs are animals, so
Do you need to recast that spell, by the way?
yeah.
Which one? What are you talking about? Oh yeah, if
The
you're going to, yeah.
Yeah, the animal friendship for the snake.
Okay. So you guys are now moving on, and you will be moving 2 squares today because I rolled a decent number.
Excellent.
So
Oh, the skull is getting very close to us. I'm not liking that.
It's decoration.
you begin your second day of journey. The heat at this point is blistering heat. So much to the point where you are just sweating profusely as you continue to walk and feel yourselves reaching for the water more often than not. Those currently wearing medium armor or above, please roll a Constitution saving throw.
Nobody.
Yeah, we all switched to light armor.
I think nobody else. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so if anybody was wearing it, then we would have to do that. So after several hours of travel, as you continue through the forest, a lot of times taking a more direct route than a more safer passage through the jungle in order to cut time, you begin to hear the sounds of rushing water. As you are continuously sweating, you all break the thicket of the jungle brush and move it to the side and see a large 30-foot tall or 10-meter tall high waterfall. The mist from the falls blows slowly through the air in your direction, giving you a momentary relaxation from the heat.
Awesome.
And Eku will take a second, put the canoe on her shoulder and point upwards, and she says, "There, we need to go up first."
Oh,
Can we
so the
just
water
take
is running towards Port Nyanza.
Yes.
Okay.
We need to go up a waterfall with canoes.
Well, and she kind of points off over to the side of the waterfall, and to the side of the waterfall, you see a large cliff-like area that leads to the top of this land mass up top where the water's coming from, and it is covered in vines, just vines that are being draped over the top and falling down all the way to the ground. And she says, "We can climb that over there."
Okay.
How many people have rope?
I don't have rope.
Has rope.
I have extra, but I can also climb quite well. So.
Eku
Did
will
we
like.
buy climbers kits? I forgot. Or did we forget to?
I think
Cecilia and I could maybe climb up together and then
Yeah.
use our ropes to hoist the canoes up. And
Yes, that is a
I have
good idea.
kittens as well. I don't know. I
Okay.
think we'll probably be able to get a good foothold on these vines, but if not, I can.
We should just hoist the canoes after we all climb. We can use the vines here as well. She kind of like tugs the vine, and it has like a ton of elasticity and strength. And so she will say, I guess I shall lead us then. And she will begin to climb up these vines. Many vines. She'll grab one vine, then move on to the next one to get a better hold. And with the craggy rock-like area underneath it, she's able to find pretty easy footholds to help her carry her up the rest of the way. And she finally makes it and crests over the top, and she kind of looks over the edge and starts to call you. And she says, some of you bring a rope up, so that way we can pull the canoes.
Yeah, I'll go. I have 2 ropes.
Okay, Cecilia, on your way up, go ahead and roll an athletics check to make sure you can pull yourself up along the waterfall. Yes,
I'll give
Calamar.
guidance to anyone climbing up, so you can add a d4.
Hey. Okay.
Cool.
Guidance is a cantrip, correct?
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
just yelling instructions. Careful, go to the right.
13.
Okay, 13, you are fine. You are able to make your way up to the top, no issue.
Probably just found these instructions annoying.
Yeah, shut up! Kidding, no, I'm not.
You say shut up, but with his guidance, you're able to like there is a loose rope you're about to, or a loose vine you're about to grab, and Kalimbar says, "No, not that one, the next one." And you reach over and grab the next one and continue your way up.
Okay, I'm gonna like attach two rope to, I don't know, a tree trunk that I see there.
Okay, so yeah, you reach over the top, and Eku shows you a nice solid structure you can tie the rope off.
Yeah.
As she's kind of just been sitting there waiting. Okay, who's up next?
I'm gonna climb up to help them
Okay,
with the dragging of the canoes.
All right, go ahead and roll athletics. And we'll just say that everybody begins to climb up one after another, Kalimbar being last. Everybody go ahead and roll athletics checks.
Add the D4, everyone.
Add a d4.
I'll be the second to last.
Okay.
With a D.
Yeah, with another D4, yeah.
This is my only good stat. I can do this. Oh, with the D4?
Yeah.
Watch me as going last fail miserably, like the only one.
Glorious.
With a
I put
D4,
you in
I'm
a
at
corner.
19.
With a d4, what is it, Safi?
I'm at 19 with a D4.
Okay, perfect.
I am at 13 with the
I rolled surprisingly well because I'm
13, okay.
noodle arms and everything.
Katie, that looks like a face of success. What is that?
Well, 11.
Okay, 11.
With a D4?
Yeah.
And we got everybody. Okay, so, Aylin, did you roll?
Yeah, 13.
13, okay.
I'm second to last.
Alright, and Kalimbar, go ahead and do yours now.
I will, before I go up, I wanna, tie the canoes to the rope and have those go up before me.
Okay, sure. So you guys can pull the canoes up, and as they crest over the top of the ridge, you see hand over hand kind of grabbing them and pulling them. Kalimbar, you can begin to climb your way up.
I'm on a 10 total.
A 10 total. So
Like
as
10,
you...
I get one from my blessing, and then I remove that one. I am weak as... like a monkey.
You begin to climb up, and you get about 3/4 of the way up. You grab a vine, and the vine isn't a vine. It is a small constrictor snake.
We forgot to check for snakes.
As
Snake checks!
snake
damn it!
checks. Snake checks. There's one thing you need to know. It is snake checks. The snake is going to try and bite you as you grab it.
Of course it is.
Oh, that is not what I need to roll.
I do not have my
16.
That's exactly my armor class.
Okay, so it does get a hit off.
Like in my face.
Oh yeah, just like right on your forehead. It does six points of piercing damage.
Oh my god.
And
You said the small snake?
and I need you to roll. No, it's a constrictor snake. I
Yes,
need you to
great.
roll a strength check.
But
Straight.
Another strength check. Oh, god.
constrictor snakes aren't poisonous, right?
No, they're not.
4. Excellent. The constrictor snake begins to grab and squeeze around your neck.
Oh god.
It's not a huge snake, but it's a big, like, large kind of constrictor
Can
snake.
I?
You all see this now.
Yeah, I'm on the edge. I'm on the edge of the cliff. And I'm like,
He's
What's
about
going
3/4.
on, buddy?
He's about 3/4 of the way up.
I'm gonna climb down to him.
As I start...
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
I was just gonna, like, as a reaction, just yell out, stop hurting him. He's not food.
Okay.
Well, with speak to animals.
Okay. Yeah. It's not going to respond to you. It's just going to continue squeezing his neck. And what else is everybody doing?
I'll cast an
I'm
old
climbing
friendship.
down there.
We'll do one action for everybody. So who's climbing? Okay, Bax, you begin to climb down. Who else? Anybody else climbing? All right, cool. Aylin, what are you doing?
I'm just waiting to see what happens. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not going to do anything at the moment. I'm just waiting to see what happens.
Safi?
Death by snake.
I'll get my dagger out and probably not throw it yet.
Okay. Melissa, like a dart, like a dart in a bar. Melissa,
I will cast an old friendship on this snake.
is it a 24? Is it a once a day thing?
Oh no, it's a spell.
It's first level. Oh, what?
Oh, you have the first
Yeah.
level spell as well?
Yeah, I have the first level spell.
Okay. Animal friendship can go off. Cecilia, is there anything that you'd like to do?
How intelligent is a snake?
Out of character, yes, very much. Cecilia, no, not at all.
You just see this man dying. You don't do anything.
I'm like, oh shit!
Jake,
Yes, yes.
can I see from where I am? Can I see if the snake's curled around a vine? Like, can I throw my dagger at not directly at Calambar, but at?
At this point, it is, because of the constricting nature of it, it is completely engulfing his neck, kind of like a scarf. And Velisra, your animal friendship is a wisdom save.
Yeah, DC 13.
DC 13.
How intelligent is a snake?
Constrictor snake, I'm about to find out.
Because if it has an intelligence of 4 or higher, it doesn't work. It fails.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, and
Yeah, but
No.
4 is also really low.
yeah, but that you can do basic math, man, and I don't. think
The constrictor snakes, are we talking about intelligence or wisdom?
Wisdom.
Intelligence.
Yeah, it's a wisdom check, but it has to have lower than 4 intelligence.
Oh yeah, it's got like 1 intelligence, it's fine.
Ah, okay.
But it is a wisdom check and it rolled a 12.
Okay,
So,
so
It
it's
is
charmed.
now charmed.
Great. And I will tell it to let go.
Calambar, it begins to release your neck very slowly, but surely.
All right. I'm going to pretend like it didn't harm me and focus on like climbing, ignoring the snake, and casting Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay.
Because
A great teaching moment.
why? Yeah, you can tell everybody what to do, and that's going to put me at full. So
When I reach you, I'll just like help you the rest of the way up.
thanks.
All right, so you make your way up, and you complete the rest of the climb just fine. As you reach the top of the climb, the rest of you see 2 little puncture wounds on like his forehead, like right here, and he's bleeding a little bit.
Are you
But-
That's a
alright?
scarf.
Velisra, what would you have told the snake to do? Yeah.
Just go away.
Okay.
He's not your enemy.
I thought it matched my eyes, but apparently it didn't like it.
Eku will walk over to you and she would say,
I've cured myself, so I'm.
yes, and she would say, "Are you okay?"
That was interesting. I haven't really met snakes before, so I wasn't on guard for it.
I am sorry, I did not see it as I was climbing. As you can see, the jungle holds many dangers, even with the most non-dangerous thing you can see.
See, Aiden, bad omens.
Yes. I'm just going to protect myself, and I'll cast Mage Armor on myself for the next 8 hours, and I'll be like, yeah, feel a lot better now.
That is a good idea.
His skin just kind of shimmers.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like a reddish glow, armor-like glow over me. I'm like, there, much better.
Echo, are these snakes poisonous or do they just?
We will find out shortly.
Oh no,
No,
that was a constrictor snake. That's
that-
not poisonous.
Yes, that one there, it even though it might leave a mark, it's mostly for when it panics. If you scare it, it'll strike, but they get their food from constriction.
Okay.
There is no worry of venom in those snakes. I'm not saying there aren't venomous snakes, don't get me wrong, but that one, you are safe, Calambar.
That's good to know.
Safi, do you want to be on Snake Watch?
Snake watch.
I just imagine like the new. I was gonna say the news channel, like dun dun, Snake Watch with Safi Bo.
Jungles of Child.
Yeah,
is
with
my
Safi. She is like a microphone that's just like an old Ooptao like statue or something.
She's like in a helicopter.
Suddenly.
Sure, I'll
Good.
just sneak check.
All right.
But now or
Well, in general, because
I'll check. I'll check.
we
for snakes
should
now.
probably.
But we want to go, fast. So I probably can't. I won't be able to look as
Yeah, no, I know,
hard
I
as
know.
I know.
As Eku kind of finishes, kind of like rubbing her thumb against your forehead, Kalimbar, just to kind of wipe the blood away. She grabs the canoe and starts bringing it over towards the river, and begins to kind of push it out and able to gather it to a point where she kind of begins to call you over and everybody. She kind of takes off her pack, and there's an area in the back of this large canoe to place a lot of the gear.
Oh right.
Hey, Echo.
Yes.
Is the water in this river? Can we drink it?
Oh no, this is river water, and with the undead that have been roaming the jungles of late, all the river water has been tainted.
The what now?
The river water has been tainted.
By what? Exactly.
the
You said
undead.
By the
Undead.
Oh, that's
They're
new
not
to
living
me.
and they're not quite.
No, Eku told this us already.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's why.
Anyway,
we
shotgun.
wanted healing.
But
Oh, you know, if you're in front, you have to paddle.
But
No,
that
it's
is that is not to say that you can take the water and boil it. If you take the water and boil it, it kills pretty much all of the organisms in the water.
I wouldn't bet on.
Kalimbar? If one could make water, do you think somebody could, like, if you already had water, do you think you could, like, make it non-bad?
If yes, you can take out diseases or poisons or even alcohol if you want.
Cool. That's cool.
I can teach you that probably as well. But this comes with a prayer from me.
Ah, okay.
Yes, if anything, it is just be safe. To be safe, don't drink directly from the river.
Cool.
I'll try to control myself.
Noted.
Yep.
Can I retrieve the 2 ropes that I used?
Sure, easy. Yeah, they weren't
Before
broken
I walk
or
away, be like, bye.
yeah, no, they weren't
Second
broken and they
day.
weren't frayed or anything like during the pull or anything. So yeah, easily you can
Okay.
grab them back. All right, so you all gather on the canoes, everybody into their respective canoe. I don't know how you guys want to situate. So the first canoe is going to be Eku, and then Kalimbar, I assume, in the rear of the.
I don't care.
I'll
really
jump in
don't
that
care
one too.
what-
Okay, so yeah, I just assumed. I apologize. So, Eku up front on the first one. Who is going to be in the first canoe?
I set shotgun in one of the canoes, so I'm already in one of the canoes.
Oh wait, Aelin is in the other one?
Aelin is in
No,
the front of the second one.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in the first one.
Okay. Cecilia is in the first one with Eku.
Yep.
I'll go there too.
Belisra,
No, oh, wait,
the first one with
sorry,
Eku.
now I'm confused. I thought Aelin was in the one with Echo. Now I'm
No,
confused.
Aelin is
Not important.
in the second canoe up front, where
Okay.
in the position that Eku is basically on the first one.
I'll go with Velisra and Cecilia.
I'll
All
go
right.
in one where they don't need strength.
All right, so
we have bags. We have bags. So.
Yes.
we have
Oh, this is
Cecilia,
fun.
Safi, and Belisra in the front one with Eku, and then we have
Everybody
Aelin,
else in the last
Katie,
one.
Bax, and Kalimbar in the second one.
Party boat.
Yes.
Oh no.
As he says that, I'm gonna sit down in the middle and take out the herb book and start reading through it.
And
I'll minor illusion spinners on our canoe.
Eku will kind of stand up in the front and kind of push her way off of the shoreline, and will begin to kind of row back and forth. And she'll look back at the group. And Aelin, you see next to you a rowing stick, an oar.
I'll pass it to Bax.
I think it needs 2 people. Or does it only need 1?
It's just one.
Oh, that's an efficient canoe.
Excuse me, Alan, you're in my seat then.
What? Aw.
If you
I
want
wanna
me to
sit in
paddle?
the front. Okay,
Sure.
fine, we'll switch.
I just
We'll switch.
imagine Aelin doing his best Captain Morgan, like up front with his knee up.
Exactly.
Going there.
So Bax kind
Sliding straight
of grabs
to
you
our
by
back.
the grabs you by the collar, pulls you back, and
Okay.
takes the oar from your hand. And Bax, you push off the edge. It's pretty heavy. Like, this is pretty heavy. It's a lot of
There are
weight
a lot of
on
people
this
in
canoe.
this boat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you push off the edge, and you guys continue your way down the river. And after a bit of time, you notice these as you're continuing down the river. You see two large and long shadows approaching your ships, or your not your ships, your canoes, as you make your way down the river.
In the water.
Has
Yeah,
it
in the
been
water.
10 minutes since the.
Oh yeah, it's been
since
several
the shore?
hours at this point.
Oh, okay. Well,
Echo.
I'll just like I don't know how far apart we are, but yell at Echo and
You're probably like a good
like, should
10,
we worry
10
about-
feet. You're probably a good 10 feet. The first ship, or the first, I keep saying ship, the first canoe would have seen it before
Yeah,
before you guys even notice it in the back.
Okay, so
Do I
Echo
recognize the
is the
shape
one.
in the water from the Follows book?
Okay, so the one I handed to you was, of course, fan made, so it doesn't have everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, you would be able to find something if you researched it. But in the
Yeah,
time
I
that
spent the
it,
night with it.
yeah, you would have seen several river fish, and one of them was an arapaima. Arapaima. And I'll show the stream what that is, because I don't have that for the era. Let's see, hold on.
Was there anything in Volo's book that said something about that creature?
Yeah. So the arapaima is a large river-dwelling fish that we even have in today's world, and it basically is inside of the Amazon River. And let's see if I can show the stream here. Actually, you know what? I might be able to just upload it to Roll20 as we talk. But basically, it's a gigantic river fish, and it's so gigantic, it's quite literally, where is it at? There it is. Quite literally 5 meters in length.
Damn.
it was
Nice.
called an arapaima.
Yeah, it is spelled Arapaima. If you want to look it up on the internet right now. Arapaima. But
It
these
looks
large,
like one of those where the jaw's not connected.
these gigantic river fish just pass underneath you, completely oblivious to your being there. But it shakes you up the size that these large fish are, because it completely would engulf this entire thing if it wanted to.
So this is not dinner then.
It could be, but as it passes by the second ship, it just slowly makes its way by.
Oh, we should have bought fish and steaks.
But we didn't.
Yeah. We
I mean,
should have.
can't you like transform into a bear again and hunt for fish?
Do you want a bear in this canoe?
No, when we stopped. When we have stopped, not
Yes.
inside the canoe.
But if this river is tainted, isn't it fish?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
That's a good point.
Can I use my what's it called now again? I have the thing where I can see. Yes. Divine sense.
You looking for undead, celestials, and fiends and stuff like that?
Yeah. I can sense an notorious odor or a powerful good ring of heavenly music within 60 feet that's not behind total cover.
Yep. So you concentrate for a moment as you kind of have this like small panic attack, and you kind of like focus for a second, and you send out this wave of holy light, and you don't have any sense that there is anything around you.
Okay.
I tell him about the fish.
Yep. So the first boats, you get a bit of a lesson in
Like one of the
ancient
tour
fish.
guides. Look at this, guys. That's.
Yeah, she has her microphone too. As it
She looks
passes
to your
by.
right.
If you look to your right? No, gigantic fishes. Don't worry, they don't do anything. Oh, I'm way too stoic of a character to be like that. It sucks.
Yeah. She. Are you actually reading it off though?
Yeah, I'm telling them without being faced by them.
Got it. So,
Yeah.
you guys learn about these large river-bound fish, and even Eku will kind of like turn to you as you begin to like spout it off, and then she sees you reading a book, and she's like, oh, "Okay." And she kind of
This is
just
the
continues.
weirdest group she's ever traveled with in the
Yeah.
jungle.
She
Like-
she continues on for a little bit, and but you notice that she becomes like slower and slower as the day goes on because the speed of which you guys are going down this up this river. You are at this point almost directly in front of a waterfall, so it was kind of difficult to fight against the current for a little bit. But you notice the current has slowed extremely an extreme amount by the time you guys actually start to see a bit of nightfall come, and you guys come to a point where you can brush up against the shore and
Okay.
and pull up towards a bit of a clearing that is separated by maybe about 10 feet or so of jungle, so you have your boats on the river, then you have 10 feet of jungle, and then you have a small clearing that you guys are in.
Okay.
Are we on the side with this little skull or the other side?
That would be Eku is gonna put you on the other side.
You.
I
She's
kinda
a
wanna-
good guide.
Aelin
She
kind of
really
wants
is.
to do. Aelin kind of wants to try something stupid.
What do you do,
So,
Aelin?
Of course he does.
before we are we are stopping just before, as like Eku says, oh, we'll camp over there. I'll be like to Kalimbar and I say, I want to try something stupid, Cal. Are you game?
Do it.
I'll move to the back of the canoe, and before anyone can say
Climb
anything,
over me?
yeah, I'll climb over everyone to the back. And in the back, I'll start casting Ebenezar's Scorcher, and I'll just do like a fire jet into the water and try to propel our boat before the first boat, so we can make it first.
Okay. So, as the first boat is kind of pulling in and like she's kind of struggling with her speed, what sounds like a flamethrower going off behind the second ship, the second canoe. Bax, you notice that you kind of start leaning at an angle a little bit. And the water begins to kind of push by your oar instead of you kind of trying to grab the water. And as you turn around, and Aelin is just looking at you in a fearful manner, but his arms are stuck out behind
I'm just
the
like
canoe.
going,
How am I gonna steer this?
And,
I hold him and like consider throwing him in the water.
At this point, you're using him for balance, if anything, and the canoe kind of slowly but surely makes its way forward past the other canoe. And Eku says, "Here, we gotta stop here. What are you doing?"
oh, that was a bit bigger of a kick than I expected.
Well
The-
done, Aaron.
The front slowly comes down, and you kind of like buoy in the water for a second, and begin making your way off as Bax is finally back in control and can kind of push you guys back off to the shore. All right, so you guys make it back to shore. You are setting up for the night yet again. Is there anything you guys would like to do prior?
Foraged.
All right, so
like to
foraging. Sorry,
I would like
Cecilia.
to go foraging for the berries that I know of.
Okay, so you specifically roll me a nature check or a survival. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. And then
with advantage. Or?
This would not be with advantage, no.
I won.
Oof.
So I am blind as a bat.
No, you just don't find anything. You don't find any food. You don't find any berries.
If you had brought back poisonous berries.
You know what you do. You know what you.
The,
No, you know what you do find. You find a large pile of dinosaur dung.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not comfortable.
This lizard dung.
Is it warm or cold?
At this point, it would be. Yeah, at this point, it would be cold.
Oh, that's good.
But anyways, Katie and Safi, are you guys? You guys are foragers.
Yeah. Do you want to roll, or should I, or do we both?
Let's do both.
Both.
Okay, so one each.
That's okay. Survival. It was survival, right?
It is survival, yes.
15.
Okay,
I rolled 18.
so with an 18. Yeah, actually with the 15 as well, but with the 18, you would be the first to see it. As you are just kind of out and about looking to see if you find anything, you don't see anything, but then you suddenly trip and fall on your knee and kind of like scrape your knee for a second, and you look behind you, and your foot has been like caught underneath a root that is kind of uprooted out of the ground for a second. And this root doesn't look like your normal like tree root per se, like dark browns or black or anything. You look at it and it's like a pale white color. And it looks like it could be foraged.
Okay, I'll
And you, Katie, moments later see Safi on the ground kind of looking at this root.
Oh, I'll try and like I've taken a Bax book with me and I'm going through it to see if it's in there, and if it's not, I go through the magical one to see if it's in there.
Meanwhile, I'm just grabbing it.
Yeah.
So you take your dagger and kind of just cut it in areas, and it's pretty large. It'd be pretty much the size of.
I won't. I'll
Hold
try to
on.
not grab it with my.
Miguel,
hand,
you good?
I'll grab it with the
Oh yeah, sorry.
It's fine. I'm sorry. You're trying not to grab it with your hands.
Yeah, I'm using the scarf that I bought to
Okay.
sort of put over it so that I'm
Okay.
not putting my bare hands on it.
Sure. It's about the size of like a medium-sized rutabaga or something like that.
I'm also checking for snakes.
It's pretty large, and
It's a giant white snake, you know?
yeah, it's a giant. You pick it up. You pick it up, and it turns to you. No. And Katie, it's gonna take you some time to run through the book to try and find it. So, Cecilia, unfortunately, you don't find anything but the poop. And the other group, you do find this large white root of some sort. So, as you guys come back to the area, again, it has been set up for camp for the night. Is there anything else you would like to do prior to sleep? Yes, Cecilia.
Did I find it?
I would like to take some time and actually work on the codex I have with me, see if I can...
Sure. Okay. And you would have found it, yes. And you would have found out that it matches the description of what is called a tome root. And written in there, it says, if boiled, it gives off a pungent smell. But it will, for 24 hours after eating, it will give you advantage against poison.
But only for 24 hours after being boiled, or after being
After being consumed, ingested.
consumed. Okay. So I could boil that tonight.
I'm just holding my root. Like, I found this thing.
And I was just like, we can make something that helps against
It's
poison.
her baby.
With
It's
this.
something useful.
Unless you want to
At
keep
this
it, of
moment.
course, because it's okay if you want to keep it, but we can make, protection against
that's
poison
fine.
with
I'll
it.
give her the root.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Again.
Eku will just be by the riverside with a makeshift stabbing stick and attempting to kind of stab a fish for dinner.
Did we find any actual food on our foraging?
This foraging? No, you did not.
Echo, are the fish safe to eat?
And she turns to you and she says, "Once cooked, yes."
I'll help her and try to firebolt a fish that comes near the surface.
Wow.
Oh, this is gonna take a lot. Hold on. So first off, let's see if a fish even comes near the surface. Of course it does.
Yes.
And then okay, let's see if you have the wherewithal to actually use the spell in the correct area. So go ahead and roll an attack against the fish.
Yeah. Oh, that's a 16.
16. Yeah, that hits.
Yeah.
Firebolt goes off. Roll damage.
Alright. That's 8 fire damage.
It begins to float up towards the surface, and Eku looks over at you and she says, "Yeah, that's
And I'll
easier
just-
too."
And I'll mage hand the fish out of it and just pop it up. There you go. That's 1. How many
Echo-
do we need?
Eku will just like, Eku will throw down her stick and just kind of walk back towards the camp.
What did I do, Echo? What did I do?
She feels useless.
It's fine. Continue fishing.
Okay.
As she makes her
I'll-
way into the brush, kind of just pushing away.
I'll minor illusion like fish food on the water to attempt to lure them in. And then when they come up, I'll firebolt them again.
Okay, roll a d6.
That's cocked. Just a 1.
Okay, so you find you are able to minor illusion one more fish to the surface and firebolt it.
Yes, 2 glorious fish.
And they're about maybe 15 centimeters in length each. They're not
Yeah,
huge or anything.
I'll be super proud because I've never gone fishing before, and I'm like, I think this is fishing now. I mean,
Yeah, it's
this is
fishing
what
with
Aiden
it's
thinks
fishing
is
with dynamite.
fishing.
Yeah, it's fishing with dynamite.
Exactly. So he'll be there. Look, I got fish.
Yeah,
got
after
dinner."
about 45 minutes to an hour later,
Yeah.
Aelin comes back
Yeah.
with 2 15-centimeter fish. One side of the fish completely like scarred and flame broiled already.
Did that?
And
how
Echo-
how
Echo
dark
at
was
this
it
point-
when he did this?
How what?
How dark was it when he did this? I'm just trying to figure out how, like, if it was like he just put up a flare saying, "Stupid people are here."
Oh no. It was such a quiet endeavor. It was
Okay,
not.
cool.
It was more about patience and trying to get the fish to come to him. That took the length of time too. But as you come back to camp, Eku is like munching on some nuts that she had in what are they called? The things that everybody gets, rations. She has her own
Calamar
small little ration. Haha. But yeah, so she's just munching on some trail mix as you approach back. But anyways, is there anything you guys want to do before the watches start? Yes, Steffi.
I'd like to work on reading the book and making the map and on taking notes for the day of the stuff that I see.
Okay, and for those just so you know that are reading and studying and doing all that stuff, I will let you know when it has come to a point where it will actually affect or it will say you
So
have
from
learned
now
enough
on-
to know more knowledge.
So from
Okay.
now on, I won't have to explicitly say so every night, or
If you want to do it every night, then just let me know that you want to do it every night, because otherwise, yeah, you're gonna have to let me
I'm
know
just
that you're
doing
trying to do it.
every night until unless we're under attack.
Right.
Yeah,
And
and
same with you,
also
Cecilia?
take like an hour during the day reading
Okay.
through the magical herbs book.
Yeah, I
Okay.
want to crack this thing, so I'm.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'll be during quiet times during the boat trip. I'll be reading in the book about Vorn and looking for some clues and stuff.
Okay, Cecilia, roll me a d20, please.
14.
Okay, you try and you just, it's you've been at it for a long time now, and
Yeah.
still kind of puzzling you a little bit. All right, anything else?
I'd
I
like
will
to.
go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. If I'd like to talk to Cecilia for a bit if I see her.
Okay, before any conversations, let's get the other stuff out of the way real quick. Valissa, is there anything else?
Yeah, I'll try and milk the snake.
Okay, go ahead and roll a animal handling.
Snake check.
Animal handling.
Snake check.
Different kind of snake check.
Hey boy.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the snake has yet to produce enough venom for you to extract.
Okay.
Yet.
All right.
All right. Anybody else? All right.
I just want to
So
help set up camp.
no problem. So Safi, you are up.
Okay, I'll walk over to where Cecilia is sitting, and I'll sit down opposite her so that I'm not looking in her book, and I'll say, "Hey, do you have a moment?
Yeah, sure.
I've seen you taking notes, and I thought maybe you'd want to, compare notes."
Compare notes? Yeah,
Well,
sure.
it seems like you and I are, I don't know, come from similar backgrounds in a lot of ways, and I thought maybe we could learn from each.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not really making notes for the benefit of the group. I'm being honest. I'm making notes so when I come back home, I can show my scene.
I'm sorry, I didn't. Your mic cut out.
Oh, I'm making notes and I'm drawing things that I've seen so that when I come home, I can show my grandpa I've seen.
I do the same for my dad. Well, and also because I'm curious and I want to know just for myself, and I prefer the people I'm with to not die
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
kind of like them, most of them. But yeah, I just is your where is he in Waterdeep? Your grandpa?
No, he's not.
Did you grow up with him or?
Yeah, he kind of raised me. So it's not like my parents are dead. Like it's not some sob story, really. But no, I'm just really close with him.
Yeah, I'm the same with my dad. My mom not so much, but my dad's special. He growing up, he would tell places and things and people, and I just wanted to, see everything, learn everything, and he doesn't really leave the house much, so I just wanted to do all the stuff that he couldn't,
Yeah.
Anyway, I think you're pretty good at the drawing thing. I like
Thanks.
the little guy with the little mask you drew.
Yeah, that was a funny thing. I hope we're gonna see one again.
Echo said it was a good omen, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess there's something good about this trip after all. I thought we were gonna get blown up just now and maybe die off of a fucking waterfall. But, live another day.
Hey, at least as long as we have Aelin here, we'll die in fun ways.
Yeah, we're in the good canoe. That's for sure.
I don't know. I know both canoes have their advantages, I guess.
Sure.
And also, I think you said that seeing little guy must be a good sign for us, but the thing that Echo said, he showed himself to you, so it says something good about you too, I guess. Or he's really stupid, that could be it too.
I think that's it. Like, I don't really believe in... I mean, it never really helped me, so... But, if it's a good omen for the group, then it's good.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, good luck with your drawing.
Oh, I'm shit at drawing. I cannot
I'm
draw.
sure you'll be very good.
I show her my drawings and they're shit.
You are very artistic.
Yeah.
I have my dad always said I have my unique view and my unique way of expressing myself through pen and paper. But I
You
think
sure do.
Thanks, I guess.
Yeah, it's good to be unique, right?
Yeah, I mean, in this group, I feel like I'm the boring. I don't have pointy ears, and I don't have.
You
blue
got
skin.
feathers. Pretty cool. Right?
Those are not mine, though.
I mean, pointy ears isn't really like it's not much. I could do without them. I'm not gonna cut them off though. But I mean, it's nothing special.
To me, they are. I mean, look, being human, it's sort of like being in this huge ice cream shop, and there's a whole bunch of flavor. There's like horns flavor and tail flavor. Ugh. But you know what I'm saying. And then you walk in and you go, I'll just have a waffle cone. That's what being human is. It's like all of the fun stuff's not there.
I think you can be whatever flavor you want.
That's oddly motivational.
You're welcome, and that's probably the most motivational thing I'll ever say.
Okay, then I'll leave now on a
Yeah,
high note.
that's
Okay,
probably
bye.
for the best. Yeah,
Okay, bye.
thanks.
Eku will have found an area in the camp that has two large trees kind of crisscrossed over a rock that has somewhat of an overhang, maybe like only 60 centimeter overhang, and enough to kind of keep any kind of rain from coming down. Yes, Cecilia.
Safi,
Huh? Hmm?
Safi, you can sleep in my tent if you want.
Oh, okay.
Just as long as you don't spoon me
Oh,
or get close to me.
well, it's only a two-person tent. I'm going to be somewhat close.
No. Just take your side, I'll take my side,
We
okay?
can put the backpacks in the middle.
Yeah, that's fine.
It'll be like a barrier, and I can't accidentally spoon you.
Yeah, good.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Eku is finishing up the little crisscross area on top of this rock, and she kind of lays down her small but quaint bedroll. She places down her staff, kind of like leaning against the wall there, and sets down for the night. Katie, yes.
And just before we go to bed, I'm gonna give Bex a pointed look and notch towards Valishra.
Bax will make a big sigh and say to Valishra, do you want to take the first one with me?
Sure.
All right.
Do you want me as well, or should I go to bed early?
I think we will be fine.
Okay. Then I go head into the
Okay.
because I'm guessing you had a two-person's tent.
I did.
Good.
Bax and Valisra, go ahead and roll me a perception check, please, for the first watch of the night.
You want to have advantage, or should we roll one each?
We can roll one each.
What am I rolling? Perception again?
Yep, perception.
Oh, it was good. Finally.
All right, so everybody is asleep at this point, and even our elven friend is in a trance. Unless you want to take your trance in the morning, that is up to you.
No, this is fine.
Okay.
That's the most right.
So, Bax, as you are kind of trying to watch the area for any kind of movement and making sure that your canoes are still tied up, so you kind of travel outside that little barrier every once in a while and make your way back in. On your way back in, you notice some noise, a rustling of sorts, and then what sounds like a dropped can hit the ground, like an empty can hit the ground, and it's coming from what looks like an area where a lot of everybody's packs are.
I'll try and draw Velishra's attention and go draw my sword and go over there.
Okay.
What's happening?
It's probably kept.
You go over there. You go over there, and what you see is a small Triceratops, one that it has not grown his horns in yet. They're kind of like dulled and rounded, about the size of a medium-sized dog. And currently it has a can in its mouth, and it is on the other side of this can is Cap'n. And Cap'n is pulling this can out of the Triceratops' mouth, and they're both fighting each other, and the wings are kind of fluttering, knocking over other rations and cans, and you hear from Cap'n, of course, and you just hear from the baby Triceratops.
I'll sheath my sword again. I don't need this, and I'll just go over there and pull them from each other and take their...
Okay, so you pull them apart and everything like that. Go ahead and roll a strength check.
That's a save.
So yeah, that is
Oh, that
a
was a
save.
save?
Yeah,
you
that is a
just-
save.
Just a strength check.
Well, it would be the same.
Okay. So, and Velisera, by this time you've made it over and you've seen this scene that is going on now.
Yeah.
And Bax, as you try to pull these things apart, you eventually yank the two apart, and Cap'n falls back down with the can in his hands, and he begins to like gnaw on the outside, and the baby Triceratops kind of falls back into the mud, kind of on its haunch, and its like back hindquarters, and then leans forward and begins to let out like a noise as it tries to like run around you and make its way into camp.
Run around me into camp?
Mm-hmm.
Can I, like, just pick it up?
You can try to see if you have go ahead and roll a acrobatics check to see if you can grab it as it's trying to run away like a pig.
Can I make it athletics? I want athletics.
And I will hold on. I will roll counter. Oh god, natural 20. All right, so yeah, it you grab onto its back legs, but it's able to wiggle out, and you kind of like slam onto the ground as it drags you maybe like 5 feet, and then you kind of let go for a second, and it continues to run around the camp. And now, at this point, the rest of the party is listening to a squealing small Triceratops as it's knocking over like a cooking pot, and it's knocked over like Cecilia, as you're sleeping there, Safi, you are curled up against the backpacks, kind of spooning the backpacks, and the dinosaur comes running by and knocks over one of the sticks, so the tent just falls over on top of both of you.
Okay, I'll up and try to
I'll
get
scramble out.
Yeah, everybody is awake at this point.
Yeah, scrambling out, grabbing my swords. What's going on?
We have a little visitor.
I'll try to grab it as well.
Okay, go ahead and roll
Section.
an acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
Can I
Oh,
look
no.
out for a mother?
Yeah, can I? I was about to say the same thing. So can one of us do that with advantage?
Yeah, you can do it with advantage. Go ahead and roll perception.
You do it.
Columber is face down in the mud.
I was
no.
just gonna cast animal friendship to it, calm it down.
I wanna do the same also.
So go ahead and roll perception.
Perception for me?
Nope. The first two who were looking out for the mother.
22.
22. Bax, what did you roll for perception?
No,
I
you
gave
got
her advantage.
Oh, you gave her advantage. Okay, excellent. So 22. Yes. So at 22, you hear the noise of the baby, but everybody, as they're trying to catch it and it's running around and everything like that, your eyes start to wander, and you're like, oh shit, like what's going on? Where's the mom? And all of a sudden you hear.
Guys, the mom's
I'll
here.
just speak to animals.
Oh,
Face up from the mud. What?
Head up from the mud, just covered in mud. Huh?
Speak with
And-
animals and stuff.
all right.
Alan will now just pop out of his tent with like a mask on.
Aelin has a sleeping mask on, still blind, looking around.
No sleeping
What's
mask,
going on?
open eyes embroidered
Mhm.
on.
Yeah,
I'll
Yeah.
I'll just calmly cast speak with animals and take out rations and say, "It's okay, come here. I have some food for you." To the kid, and then once it's hopefully calmed down, I'll yell out to the mother and say, I have your kid here. I know where she is."
So
It's okay.
the small Tyrannosaurus kind of calms down for a second.
Tyrannosaurus?
Yeah,
That's a different
Triceratops.
one.
Small Triceratops. It's been a Tyrannosaurus the whole time. No, Triceratops. It eventually calms down as it hears that you can speak to it, and it will like very cautiously look back and forth and approach you at a slow pace.
I have like some food, there's some rations in my
Right,
hand.
yeah, and it approaches you slowly, and as it approaches you slowly, Captain will jump on your back and kind of push you forward, and the rations will like slam onto the ground and kind of spill out in front of the young Triceratops, and Captain will climb down your arm and continue eating some of the rations that fell down on the ground, and the Triceratops will grab one of them and like drag it away and begin munching on his portion. As this is all happening,
That's enough for both. It's okay. That's enough.
as this is all happening, suddenly, boosh, coming out of the jungle, out of one of the trees, and basically kind of right next to where Eku was sleeping, but maybe between like Eku and Aelin. Busting through the trees, you see a large Triceratops, one that has not just the 3 horns up front and maybe a horn every once in a while. It has just horns lining the crest along the top in a beautiful fashion, but very terrifying to be against. And you just hear a loud roar. And Katie, you hear, "Get away!"
It's okay. We're not. We found your kid. It's okay. I have your kid here.
And it'll start like, and it'll like take its paw and just kind of start scraping the ground.
Okay. I was like, "Hey, calm down, okay? I have your kid here. She's fine. You're gonna get her back, and you're gonna leave us alone. Nothing happened. She tried to get her food, and my friend here, he's very protective of food. He tried to take it back. That's what happened. Your kid is here. Everything is fine."
It's going to
You'll go
start
back to you
charging
now.
you. It's going to
I'm
start charging
hiding
you
as
at
he's
this point.
talking.
Yep. It's going to start charging you at this point, and it's running full speed at you. Before it has a chance to get to you, it runs to the area that the small Tyrannosaurus or Triceratops.
Yeah.
It runs to the area that the small Triceratops is, and it kind of places her entire body kind of encompassing. The small Triceratops is still just munching on the food, but she stands over right in front of it and just makes it like a roaring gesture at you, Katie, and then of course to the rest of the group, and it's starting to now do circles as it feels kind of entangled within the group.
Bax is just gonna try and be big and maybe stand in front of people and try and get everybody to back away.
I'll stare the dinosaur down. I'll not phased by this.
Okay. It's
Away.
again
I'll
it'll
my sword.
stand up a bit straighter and yeah.
it'll like leap up with like both of its feet kind of in the air, and then slam them down like right in front of you, and then breathe like really heavily and kind of move its crest back and forth, just pushing you along the side. It's not making any bites or charges or anything like that, but it is trying to force you out of the area, try to scare you as you stand your ground. Velisra.
You're gonna have
Yeah,
your kid back.
I will just go behind a tree and make a stealth check.
Velisra, roll for
Who
stealth,
asked me?
please.
I'm kind of like no with it.
Can I also use my Masked Wild ability? Like blend in with the ground?
Yeah, absolutely. You roll stealth with advantage.
Oh shit!
Miguel, as this beast that is just roaring and scaring everybody, you end up falling over a lot of the pails that are on the ground, and like the fall, you trip a lot, but you eventually make it behind a tree.
Okay, good. I stay there.
I'll hide as well.
Kalimbar, you're able to roll with advantage.
19.
Okay, yeah, you're hidden. Safi, go ahead.
Blend into the ground.
Okay, you think you're pretty decently covered. And again, it's just making this scene, and it's just standing over this child. Eku at this point will be awake, and she's grabbed her staff, and she's kind of made her way as she just keeps an locked eye along the creature. The creature notices her because she's not trying to be sneaky or stealthy. So the creature sees her, again, making this roaring noise of territory. And again, she's just saying, get out, leave, move, or, to that effect.
It's okay. It's just we trespassed. What's your name?
And it won't answer you in a way that makes much sense,
Okay.
but you get the essence that it doesn't have a name.
Okay.
It doesn't know what a name is.
Your kid is here. We have not harmed it. I gave it some food because it was looking for food. We will be gone in the morning. You will have your space back in the morning.
At this point, the small
I don't know.
yeah at this point the small triceratops underneath it is kind of like taking all 4 appendages and like lifting a small container kind of into its mouth, and it's just covering
the container
itself.
out because that does not seem healthy. It does not seem like a thing it should eat.
Yeah, and as you reach for it again, there is a stomp around you, and you go ahead and are you actually reaching for the tin can that it has?
I would try and stop it from hurting itself. No, I was gonna cast animal French. Wait, yeah, because that's animal friendship on the big one.
Okay, it is a wisdom save.
Make it calm down. Yeah, unless it has an intelligence of 4 higher.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I don't think they do, but let me just double check.
Yeah, me neither.
No, they do not. So it is a wisdom save. That is a 14.
Oh, and I need to. I think that I think I'm pretty sure mine is 16, but I'll just double check. No, it's 14.
Okay, so it does save from it.
Okay.
At this moment, as you kind of are taking your hand and trying to cast your spell, you notice Eku next to you raises her hand as well, and the beast kind of takes a second, and you see it like snorting, and it's backing away for a second, just like as if like pepper had gone up its nose or something, and the baby Triceratops kind of ducks down and drops the can that it was currently munching on, and slowly backs up and kind of gets behind the leg of the mother, and the mother then kind of really looks intently at Eku, and Eku just continues to stare at it. She's moving her head slowly, and then without much more deliberance, the Triceratops mother kind of nudges the baby, and the baby walks into the jungle where the mother had previously come out of, and the mother looks back at the group, gives like a loud like noise with her nose, and then moves back into the jungle.
I keep looking sternly at
The
her.
camp is destroyed outside of like actual amenities. It's just everything's thrown around everywhere.
Alright, is anything broken?
No, that's what I was trying to say. It's just
Oh,
everything's
sorry.
just like thrown around everywhere. Nothing's actually like physically broken.
That was very impressive, you two. I said, standing up, suddenly reappearing from the ground.
Oh, sorry, I didn't
Acting
see
as
you
if he was there the whole time. He's just like, and hey, that was great, guys.
I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. It's a great use of
Camouflage, yes.
camouflage. Yeah.
Yeah, Eku kind
Yeah,
of
pretty
wipes her brow.
You picked
Is
something
everybody
up
okay?
in 9 decades.
Eku will
Is
say to
everyone
the group,
okay?
"Is everyone
Yeah, I'm
okay?"
fine.
That was very scary.
Yes, I'm fine.
Captain, are you okay?
Captain is at this point laying against the backpack that is set up against the wall with a big fat belly, and just kind of rubbing it and just going.
Do I need
You
to
just need, like,
remember to
4
say
astronaut
that
bars
I'm
or something.
feeding him, or is that just a given?
I'm sorry, say again?
Do I need to remember to say that I'm feeding him, or is that just given?
Yeah, you're gonna have to say even the smallest little thing, like
Okay.
even like a small berry will tide him over. But
No, it's more that do I need to say every time I feed him, or is that just given that I would do that?
It depends on how you want to say it. If you want to say, yeah, I'm gonna give him something every once in a while, then yeah, we can
It's
just do
more
that.
that I would just, I would forget.
Yeah,
Like
slow
me.
things down.
Reggie would forget that I need to say it.
Yep. So if you want to say that you feed him every single day with whatever food you have, then yeah.
Yeah. I'll
Poor city monkey.
Yeah, he doesn't know what's going on. He just indulges himself. And Eku will, again, like I said, wipe her brow and will begin cleaning up the mess that the
help.
area had just completely knocked
What
over
time
and
is it
everything like
now?
that. At this point, it's not too late. It's like maybe 10 o'clock at night.
Oh.
This all happened during the first watch. Okay, yeah, you set up the tent. It takes some time, but you guys recover from the attack or whatever you guys want to say. And the first watch ends, and the second watch begins. Go ahead and roll perception checks for second watch.
When which one of you is gonna wake me up?
I will.
All right. When you come wake me up, you see my eyes. Like I'm sat down, and you see my eyes flickering. But as soon as you approach, like get within like half a meter of me, the eyes flick open and like draw to you. Like Cal was away the whole time. Hi, Felissa.
Fancy. It's your turn to watch.
All right. Oh, before I forget, when I remembered
Yes.
today.
What's that?
When I remember today, the snake, you stopped it, right?
I did, yes.
Thank you.
No problem at all.
Oh,
That's what we have to do, right?
yes, let's look out for each other as best we can.
It's not because we are awkward to each other now. Right?
Yes, let's put it like that.
Alright. Good luck out there.
Thank you.
And I will go to bed.
Okay.
Nice watch, Bax. Did you see anything else that I didn't see? Very well then. Have a good night.
You too. When I get back in the tent with Katie, like, I'll give her a nod and be like, yeah, I need your help.
Yeah. Well,
And then just,
Sure thing,
like,
sure thing.
just draw up the bedroll, like, all the way up.
sure, that's okay. Is Caliber doing this watch alone since I
No,
switched
Cecilia is
Velisra?
with him.
Oh, okay, when was Velisra? Or did
It
you
was
not have
was
Bax
with Bax.
in Velisra.
No, like originally.
Oh, I don't know who it was originally. I can't remember.
Okay, because it's more that so that
Yep.
we wouldn't have a what loose. But yeah.
All right, Kalimbar, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
$18.
18. All right, Cecilia and Kalimbar, your watch goes off without a hitch. You do not find anything. You do not see anything. It is nice and quiet. And
Especially after I was like, so, you and Felissa, huh?
Excuse me?
You and
Yes.
Felissa. I mean,
Yes.
am I getting that wrong?
Yeah, you're getting that. Very. Anything else?
Oh, no, I'm just not usually wrong on these things. My apologies if I have offended.
Apology.
she accepted, by the way. The mic cut out, but we saw.
Oh, apology accepted. But no, there's nothing going on. I just had.
Well, you cut out.
I just had something to talk about with her. That's all.
I understand.
Okay. Good.
Insight check.
I dare you. Make my day.
What you roll, Kalimbar?
14.
She's telling the truth.
Good.
All right. So that goes off without a hit. Third watch.
I'll take one now.
Okay, Aelin and Safi, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Aelin and Safi, go ahead and roll.
Both for one with advantage.
Me?
Yeah, sure. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Very
You
nice.
see everything.
You see everything.
Time and space is laid bare before my eyes.
Suddenly realize that you are not a character, but a player in this wild universe.
You do not see anything as the sun begins to rise the next day.
It's the most detailed sunrise I've ever seen.
You see the sunrise in the most beautiful way it could have ever risen, as the next day the heat is not so bad. There's no wind, there's no heat, and there's no rain. It is just a decent day. It's 95 degrees, freedom height, but I don't know, whatever that is in Celsius. But at this time, we'll take our little break, and we will meet up here in a second.
All right.
Cool.
Cool.
Time for water.
What are these?
Hamburg.
Are we going to Hamburg?
I don't know. What are we doing for the holidays?
I don't know. Going somewhere. Definitely. Jeg er klar på whatever.
Cool.
Især hvis vi tager toget.
Ja.
Især fordi at vi får rabat. Men.
Jeg henter lige lidt mere hvidvin, så jeg er tilbage.
Du drikker hvidvin. Skulle jeg? Nej. Jo, jeg kunne godt tage et glas hvidvin. Nej, det er en dum idé. Det er en dum idé.
I'm going to hide a secret message here for everyone watching back this thought. Just want to say I love you all. Hey.
Hello. You were saying stuff.
Yes, I was.
But I wasn't wearing my headset. So
And
maybe it wasn't for me.
that explains why you didn't reply.
Yeah. That's the thing about headsets. You can't really hear them if you're not wearing them.
Yeah. It makes it easier to know. This is so much
Deception,
fun.
I tell you.
Oh, I'm having so much fun. My wife's complaining I'm laughing too loudly. So
That's
Well,
her
that's-
problem.
nice work with the dinosaur, by the way.
Thank you.
Cool actions.
Well, it didn't work, but or maybe it calmed it down a bit. We didn't die or get attacked.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
I think
man,
we're-
I was so close to getting in there and dragging hair if you're standing around, not getting run over by a goddamn Triceratops.
You cut out in the beginning, but yeah, no. I was just
Spell slots refreshing.
yeah. Oh god, this I'm beginning to have an idea of a backup character, and that character cannot do magic. Definitely not magic where you need to prepare spells.
I
Cause
really.
fuck this shit.
Calamar is very happy that he used some healing magic because he would hate being the only one.
Oh yeah. Well, you
Like-
will have to teach me how to do the healing magic though, because Katie does not know how to do magic.
Okay, then this
It's all
morning
like it's all like instinctual.
I will wake you up around sun up then and teach you cure wounds.
That would be great.
I actually think one of the spells I have prepared is Cure Wounds.
I haven't prepared cure wounds, but I have healing word prepared because
Oh,
it felt like that would be more useful.
Very useful spell. Yeah.
I also do
Yeah.
have cure wounds. I also have a really cool spell that I don't think you have access to, which is healing spirit.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, that's like super OP.
Yeah, like no, it's open. Like basically like a
It's still super
Yeah, it's
super
still-
OP in combat as well.
Yeah, it's like
pretty
you
dope.
call forth a nature spirit to soothe
It's-
the wounded.
I need to
The in-
look that up. I don't have that on D&D Beyond. So I don't have
No,
that.
but it's also only a druid and ranger
Yeah, it's
spell.
only do it in ranger.
Ah,
So,
alright.
so
It
you
would
would
be-
have access to it, and it's basically like you make like a 5-foot cube, and then if I make that cube, and then it's concentration for a minute, and then if somebody walks into the cube, I can choose. Okay, they get healing.
Nice.
But I can also like so if the enemy walks into it, they wouldn't get healed. I
Beautiful.
get to choose. And it's yeah, it takes a bonus action to cast it,
Yeah, it's really OP.
and it does 1d6.
Well, let's see.
And
Healing
and
with
I can
life
move it up to
cleric's
further
fun.
feet. So really
My
cool.
spells. Let's see. I wrote them down. 1d4 plus 6 is nice healing on first.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I should take a feat or if I should get my wisdom to 20.
I always go for what's the most fun.
What?
'Cause I always like if there's some fun mechanic or something a feat allows me to do that kind of want to do. I prefer that over bumping stats.
Yeah, that's
Like
right.
doing
But I also
more interesting stuff.
I,
is fun.
I started with a feat because variant human,
Yeah.
but I could also take sentinel, which would be
That would be
awesome
cool, yeah.
when like I'm a bear and then they wouldn't be able to move.
I'm gonna go for an ASI.
Yes,
What?
My dex and my int go up to 18 each.
Ah.
Ooh, impressive. I do have an 18.
Oh, mine is also +6, is it? Yeah, 1d4 plus 6. Ooh, that is pretty cool. Should I? I shouldn't. I can
For-
only
for
prepare
what
like
spell?
Why would you have
healing word
plus? Why do you have +6?
because of my spell casting modifier.
Your modifier isn't +6. Then you
Yeah.
would have like 24 in your stat.
Spell attack bonus is
No,
No,
six.
no.
that's not your spell ability.
Your wisdom modifier.
Yeah.
1d4
Ah, well, why does it? That's confusing.
Yeah.
That is not fair.
It's +6 for him because he's a life cleric. He gets more
that
juice.
makes sense. I was also like, that's a lot. Why would anybody ever do cure wounds if you could do that much?
After a night like that, I feel like this game needed a snack.
Oh damn, Jake,
Yeah.
that is one awesome mug.
Whoa!
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm kind of jelly now.
But that probably won't go in the dishwasher though.
Okay, it's +4. +4 is still pretty cool.
Yeah, still
you-
pretty good.
Hand
Like
wash?
you're muted.
We cannot hear you.
Very muted.
Also, guys, quick question. With my microphone, is it just like it's so poor that it's not picking me up, or is it just that I need to put the gate lower?
No, it's great now.
What is
Oh.
gate?
But sometimes
feel-
it just cuts out.
Yeah,
like when you're
sometimes it
talking.
just cuts out.
Oh.
Exactly.
I feel
But
like it's an internet connection thing.
It's
rather
the
than
gate.
microphone
It's the
thing.
gate. It's not internet connection. It is the gate. Your sound gate is too
It
low.
is to.
Yeah, or yeah,
It
whatever
is the
it
gate.
is.
Okay.
Yeah, so whatever it is, it's just
What
not
the
picking
hell
up.
is gate?
It's in Discord. It's basically how loud you talk activates the
Yeah.
push to talk or activates the auto talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll put it a bit lower now, so hopefully you'll won't be bothered with.
Oh yeah, so the top part of this thing right here, what I was trying to say, it comes out and you can dishwasher.
Ah,
That is smart.
needly
If
one
you
of
had
those.
a dishwasher.
True.
I thought you did have a dishwasher. She's just a person.
No, because she went home.
She went home. Yeah, for some reason she
My
decided she'd
dishwasher
rather
left.
stay at her own place. Like that's not
And
fair.
now she has a giant pile of her own dishwashing.
Yeah,
Not
I
done, but
also do
she's
have a
fucking it.
pile of dishes I need to do, but well,
Also, Geert-Jan,
That's me.
nothing personal with hate towards what you're like trying to insinuate. I'm not sure if I came off as really like angry about it, but I don't mean
I
that.
loved it. I like that.
Okay.
Like, I mean, me and Felissa are buddies already, you know?
Oh, you are?
Like,
Does Felissa know?
Now I
perfect.
Be sure to let her know that.
Looks like we're complete again.
Yeah, be sure to send me a request on Screenbook.
So I didn't ask. I'm sorry. Did you guys want to travel fast again or normal speed?
Oh, we can do fast again. It's by the river, so.
Well, we're already going fast because we are in the river. I feel like,
I feel like in a dangerous river, we don't really want to be
yeah,
reckless.
Okay.
yeah.
I
Also,
agree.
But
like,
that's just me.
you know, we don't have that many strong people, so there's not that many people who can row, so they'll get fatigued. Unless you want to do it, Aylin.
No, I'm good.
We can just double up on the rowing.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
if-
switch, but I'm like really weak.
All
Me
right.
too.
And we're back.
I've got my dex and my intelligence, and that's it.
All right. You wake up the next day, like I had said before, and again, it is a beautiful day out. Be it is still pretty warm, but it is nowhere near as hot as it was the day prior. You do not feel yourself just sweating profusely from just standing there. But other than that, it is a nice day out. No rain, no wind, allowing you to travel up the river at a decent pace. So did we come to a decision? Is it going to be fast, normal, or slow pace?
Normal.
Just a normal pace up the river. Okay, so it'll be a 2-day travel up the river.
I like that you're describing 35 degrees as a nice day to a bunch of Northern Europeans.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true! Like,
35
Pure
degrees,
hell.
like, oh my god, I'm
I
dying.
didn't even think about that too. I'm from freaking South Texas, which is Mexico. So I mean, like we are basically like 100-degree weather
Used to
is
burn
pretty
It also
bad.
does depend on the humidity.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh,
if it was
God,
35
yeah.
degrees in Denmark, we would all just be like, I cannot move.
That is true. The
Exactly.
humidity is probably still terrible, but not as
Yeah.
terrible as the day prior. So how about that? We'll do that.
Yeah.
It's still bad, not as bad. Okay. So
I would like to take some time to teach Katie about healing magic.
about what?
Healing magic.
Oh, about healing magic. Okay.
Yes.
While we're sitting in the boat.
In the boat. Yes. Like face to face.
Yeah, Aylin, what do you feel about like us doing back to back? Then we can support each other.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah, we can use each other's chair. Well, what's called like a chair back? I don't know.
Yeah. The seat.
Yeah, Well, not deceit. The opposite of deceit.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are making your way down the river yet again, and the morning passes without any kind of hiccups or anything like that, and you notice that, yeah, you are traveling quite faster than you were when you were trying to make your way through the jungle, as the jungle has quite the hindrance, trying to cut through all the heavy shrubbery and everything like that, and you begin making your way down, and as you make your way down, you come up towards a large opening in the trees, probably a good half a kilometer, almost further than half a kilometer, but it is a large open section of trees, and as you're passing by, you see a herd of Brontosaurus, large, long-necked lizards that are stories tall, like 4 or 5 stories tall, just huge creatures, as they all kind of are drinking out of the river that you are rowing down. And Echo kind of turns to you and she says, no need to worry. Even with their size, they are still friendly. They are one of the kindest of Ubtau's children.
Good then. I will cast Animal Friendship on my snake too.
Okay.
So we don't forget about it.
Not a problem.
And okay.
And you continue making your way down. And as you make your way down and you're looking at this spectacle, you see a lot of these Brontosaurus are feeding on the high treetops of a lot of the jungle canopy along the backside of this open area. And encroaching on the river itself, you see a small herd of younger brontosauruses. The young that are all kind of playing and splashing in the water and running through it at speeds that you would know like a horse to kind of run through things. And you notice now that there is one that is kind of keeping pace with you as you make your way down the river. One is kind of keeping pace with you along the riverside, splashing. And it will take a large gulp of water as it's running and then begin to spray the entire group with just water kind of covering you guys. And it kind of does circles and like jumps around in the water and continues backing away the other direction. And Eku is just laughing and smiling and, you know, brushing her hair.
I'll probably like, shit, my books! God damn it! Stupid beast!
It's kind of like a ride at Disney that you weren't prepared for, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the little log ride or something like that.
We all put on the bug repellent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Do we need, just a quick question like this, do we need to have bug repellent when it rains? Because it would... Do we need to have bug repellent when it rains too?
The bug repellent is waterproof.
Okay.
But do we need it when it rains?
You notice that when it rains, that the bugs almost double in number.
That's okay.
It's that kind of bugs. Okay.
Yeah. So you guys continue up the river at a decent speed. Other than the large brontosauruses that you encountered earlier in the day, it is pretty much a slow, lovely ride up the river. There's nothing but fresh air, and you know, it doesn't seem so bad. You know, people talk about how terrible this place is and how scary and dangerous it might be, but other than a small snake, you really haven't, you know, encountered anything ultra dangerous. You know, the Triceratops might, you know, have been an issue, but this place is lovely. You get the feeling that it is, at least.
I feel like there's a butt coming.
But as you...
Yeah.
Roll for initiative.
Except the river is poisoned because of the undead that's in it.
I have a huge Jurassic Park vibe right now. Like everything's so cool and so fine.
Yep. Dun 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 dun.
You know, Kalambar, I'm really turning into an outdoorsman with this. This is kind of nice.
You're actually getting a 10.
Yes, I am.
Oh no, wait, that's a sunburn. I'm sorry.
Probably. Wait, isn't it supposed to turn red?
No. No,
Damn it.
certainly not.
Damn it.
You continue through the waters and eventually make your way, and the sun begins to dip low in the sky. And you yet again begin to make camp. This time it is more of a clearing than it is more of an open field than it is a clearing in the jungle. You do find a decent amount of space to kind of set up next to the river. Eku kind of warns you to set up still a little bit away from the river, so that way, in case anything happens from either direction, you can move away with a decent amount of time of with reaction. Yeah, so at this point, you have the opportunity to do what you would like to throughout the day.
I'd like to check on those not quite done, not quite ripe fruits that I got.
Okay, so yeah, it's been about 2 days since you picked them up. And at this point, you start to notice that one of them is getting yellowish kind of towards the bottom of the fruit. And it's slowly climbing up the rest of the fruit, but the other ones are still quite green.
Okay. And I'll ask Katie about the root that I found, if she's going to do anything with.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I can. We can boil it. So yeah, I'm gonna
Do you have something to boil something in?
We're gonna make a campfire for the.
Yeah, but if it needs to be boiled, do we have something that we can boil water in?
Didn't somebody have a
I have a misket.
I do too have a misket. Why do we have so many miskets? Oh, because I'm a big. Hey, does anybody want bread for their dinner tonight? Wait, we don't have any corn. Never mind.
Everybody just got really excited for a small amount.
Yeah, and then I realized I forgot to bring like.
Echo's like, you want bread?
Yeah, I didn't think that through. I guess I could be creative if we find some roots or something.
And then we will carve a milling stone.
No, if you make like a, what's it called?
Find a natural
porridge kind of thing, and then
Like
you can make
oats.
bread out of that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Are we
no,
doing
no.
foraging for the night, or for the day?
That would be smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do our foraging again. Doesn't matter. You guys can 2 separate rolls or one
I
individual.
guess I'm doing this mixture thing though, so if maybe somebody else want to step up.
I can join.
I just want to look for the berries that I know about. That's all I want.
Okay, so Mouse. I'm sorry, Cecilia. If you want to do that like on a constant basis, just let me know,
Yeah.
and you will roll individually from the rest of the group.
Okie dokie.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and roll your perception, and then survival, and then the next one will be Kalimbar and Safi
Sounds good.
for your you're the ones.
Do you want to roll both, or should I just give you advantage? Because my
Let's just do both. That's the most interesting.
Okay.
13.
13. Unfortunately, you don't find anything in like this open field like area. If you wanted to like journey further into the jungle, it would be more of along the lines of about a 30-minute walk to get to where the jungle starts, and then you can try again if you'd like.
No, I'm not gonna go venture out on my own.
Okay. Kalimbar
Not
and
ready for a
Safi.
new character.
I've got a 6, 3 plus 3.
All right, with the 6, nothing. Ren. Oh, sorry. I gotta get all these like layers of names down. I got you. Safi. All right, Safi, with a 17, you find a small stump that is coming up out of the ground, and you trip over. No, I'm just kidding. This is how you forage all the time. You just trip over everything. No,
Here's my face.
you land face first into. No, I'm just kidding. No, there is a small stump that has been. It looks like it had been basically chewed until a point of it falling over. And you see the dead tree kind of laying next to it. But on the stump itself, it is adorned with brown and orange colored mushrooms. That you think, yeah, I could probably eat that.
That's all you need to know with mushrooms, really. Just
Pretty much.
take-
I'm pretty certain those are poisonous.
We do have 2 books that could tell you that.
I can take
We
care of
also
that
have a
though.
guide.
I can take care of the poison, I think.
We have 2 books, a guide, and 2 people who can
Will
take care of
everybody
poison.
stop trying to take my found stuff away from me? I'm working really hard on this.
No, we just say
So,
we can identify it.
Sappy, you actually come back with quite a handful of these mushrooms, as they had grown not only just on the stump, but most of it also on the dead wood that was lying next to it. So you have like almost like an armful of these tree growing mushrooms.
Oh yeah, I'm full of swagger as I
Oh yeah.
go back into the camp.
You approach the group with a bit of confidence and a large handful of mushrooms.
I'll ask Eku what they are.
Eku will like kind of look at you and be like, mushrooms?
Are they edible? Or
Oh, I do not know those specific ones.
okay, I'll go ask Katie. So I'll walk myself over to Katie and just ask her.
After about 30 minutes of looking through your book, because
Like
it's
while
it's
waiting
a
for the thing to
it's a
like,
book
I'm
about
yeah.
this thick
Yeah.
because
well,
of
I
all the
start
flora.
with the normal one. I start with the journal.
Yeah.
And
The magical journal. So yeah, the magical journal is very thin.
Oh, okay, then I'll start with the thin one.
Yeah, the magical journal is very thin, and then the flora of Utau is like this thick, yeah, of Scholt. Sorry, it will take you some time to find it, but you do find one that has a description quite similar to the one you see, and it will say, eating them raw will cause bad stomach pains, but cooked they are earthy and delicious.
We can make a soup of these. Well, you should not eat them raw. Do not eat them raw.
I take
Unless I'll give them to somebody you hate. In the way
Sappy,
that
are you
want them to
mid-bite?
have a bad day.
Are you mid-bite the second she says this?
not actually biting down, but it was halfway to my face. Just absent-mindedly because I've got an armful of snack.
Yeah, with like an arm, like her left arm completely full, and right arm like.
In the background, Bax is like, I have already tried to set up camp and has a campfire going and mess kit going and trying to make dinner. And she's like, if you want to put it in here, yeah.
Okay. I'll go over there and I'll put them, just plonk them in the soup.
Yep. As they all just kind of fall into the soup.
First and
You know, I used to have a friend who is really into mushroom. That sounds weird.
Depends on the kind of mushrooms.
Hey, you don't know Sappy's friends, all right?
He's a half orc, like you.
Oh.
Really, really knowledgeable about mushrooms. He would love this, I bet. Only mushrooms, though. He was pretty much useless at everything else. Really good at drawing mushrooms, especially.
That's...
In Boulder Gate?
Yeah, well, you know, it was when I was studying, so we were out and about.
What did you study?
And...
Oh, that one! Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is-
Well, you know, it was sort of, that was what it was centered around, but the Observatory of the Infinite in Baldur's Gate, it's not really like your, typical universe. For one thing, you just, it's not like you automatically get in or anything. You have to find a mentor. So me and Antrim, this mushroom guy, we were under the same mentor, so we were on field trips a lot together.
And
He was
Antrim?
nice, really kind. Yeah, Antrim.
I never even went to school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, I lived in a very small place with my father. And he just taught me the way of our god, and yeah, what he knew.
Who is your god?
Ilmater.
Would I have heard of?
Roll a religion check if you'd like.
Callenber's just going to home in when he hears divine tone. Is that the broken god you spoke of?
He like
It is.
Oh,
his neck
I was
snaps.
wondering about that. When are you going to put him back together again? Because that seems very.
Safi, unfortunately, you would not have heard of
I have
this.
no idea what's going on.
Would I have heard about this, or am I not close enough to hear them talk? Like I'm in the camp too. So.
You know, I mean, unless Bax is trying to whisper or talk to a
No.
single person, then you would have heard it. Because Bax is, she's not afraid to just talk.
Okay. So would I know about it?
It's up to a religion check, to be honest, because you don't come from a religious background.
Okay.
So if you'd like
Well-
to try and see if you know about it, religious check, then yeah, maybe.
So Kalimbar, I say,
14.
he's the broken god because he takes care of all the people broken.
But isn't
So
that hard if
he
you are
doesn't
broken
really
yourself?
need fixing.
But doesn't everyone need fixing?
Yes. Well, depends. Do you want fixing?
Well, does he take care of the broken that are willing to change, or every broken people ever?
I learned it's as if you need a hand, he will be there.
Okay.
We-
So
Go
you
ahead.
can go ahead. Okay, it's fine. So he will help people who want to help themselves, but not people who are just in their.
Well, if you are in pain, I suppose you would always want that help.
But
Well-
what if pain is part of you? Would you want this taken away?
Pain is not something part of us. It's something a part of the death that comes for us eventually.
Pain is the best teacher, Lar.
Pain is something that should deeply be avoided, in my opinion.
Well, you won't learn without pain.
Oh, there's quite many things you can learn without pain. I mean, Aiden has his books. I've seen his library. You can learn very many things there. And
Maybe,
you can.
but not where I grew up.
I feel like I've learned many things talking to all of you, and that. Well, some conversations were painful, I must admit.
But pain I'll translate as fear, doesn't it?
Translate as what?
Fear. Fear and pain are conjuncted together.
Well, I think the kind of pain you're talking about is different. We mostly take care of people who are sick or poor or are not able to take care of themselves. Even if they're good or evil, but we try to at least make sure that they will do good if we have helped them.
Was it just you and your dad growing up?
Yeah. We lived in a small town. But, yeah. He's not
So-
really my dad, but he has taken care of me always.
What's happened to your real dad?
I don't know. I've always been with my father. But he's a human, so yeah, he's not my real father.
As you
At
all
least as I
are,
know.
as you all are talking, Bax, you can of course continue. Eku will kind of dip a makeshift spoon into the soup that you're making and taste it and kind of give a nod. And you'll notice that around you, as you are all speaking, and as night is kind of taking over, that the area that you are in, this large field, begins to almost light up, almost like a small fire has arisen in this area. But you take the time as you're talking to kind of just look over from time to time and notice that this small fire is actually fireflies that have risen out of the the area, the large grasslands, and have kind of begun to accumulate towards the campfire and towards you. And now the entire area, including the water and the river, are covered in these beautiful fireflies as you continue to speak.
Awesome.
My dad always say, today's the first day that you have left in your life. Or the first day... Blah, 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 blah. Today is the first day in what is left. So live it well. And that's what I try to live by.
I think you do pretty well at that.
Thank you. Yeah, I try.
Funny that the both of the half-orcs I personally know are so different from the stereotype that you guys often get.
I've never met anybody like my, so I guess I have seen the stereotype that people portray me in, but I've never actually met anybody.
Were you the only half-orc in your entire village?
Yeah.
It must have been at times.
It was. People were not very nice. But we kept to ourselves and our church and took care of people that was in need. Yeah.
So,
It was nice.
So you and Katie are friends though. So where did you meet her?
In Waterdeep. I had to leave Swentmore. Yeah. Some of the people in town did not like me for being a half-orc. And they were just teasing until it was not teasing anymore, and I got really beat up. So my father took care of me in the middle of to try and find another place where maybe people would be more understanding. And all of you guys have been so nice to me. None of you have looked weird, so maybe this is what I gotta do.
Well, you've been nice to us, so it's only fair to repay that.
Thank you.
Also, sir, you're super huge, so I like that you're here for me to stand behind.
Well, I'll gladly stand in front of you.
How about side by side?
Side by side is all very good.
Well, it would make a lot of targets out of us. I'm not sure if that... Oh, you mean... you do not mean literal. I understand.
You need to work on your metaphors.
It's hard, translating all the words.
What's your home like, Alambar?
It is lovely. I mean, it's not a forest like the one we are in now, but you have seen the ones up north, like the trees that have lived for centuries.
Have I seen the trees up north? Probably.
Oh. Well, maybe it's hard to describe. They are as wide as like 2 carts, some of them, and they rise to the skies like the great pillars in some temples I have seen. It seems the humans want to capture this beauty, but I do not think they have quite succeeded yet.
Wow.
We live among the trees. I'm not sure if there's very much else to tell. It's a quiet place. I mean, if there are no threats from the outside. But we like to celebrate and be in tune with all around us.
So why did you leave if it was so nice?
Well,
I say as I smack a mosquito against my arm.
when we reach our first century, it's expected that we have achieved something in life. I haven't quite yet. And I felt like this big world outside of my village needed some exploring, some experience for me.
Is that why you came to Waterdeep?
Yes. I had...
You started hanging out with Aelin, of all people.
Well, they are a friend of my family. So they go... my mother and his mother go back ages.
So, did you know Bob, or did Bob?
Aelin introduced me to her.
Hmm.
She was a nice woman. When she got ill, I actually tried to bring some of Hanali's grace, but it was to no avail. I try not to think about that too much. It feels like the biggest failure on my part.
It sounds like there's a lot of people who's in trouble.
So let's perhaps get some rest so we can carry on as quickly as we can.
That is a good idea.
At this point,
if
oh,
I
go ahead.
may.
Yeah.
If I may, Kalimbar, before we left, you looked really close to Eku, and then we left, and you haven't talked to her since. So, I don't know a lot of these about that kind of stuff, and I'm not the smoothest person, but that's probably something you want to, like, maybe talk to her.
So, as you say this, Kalimbar, you kind of look around and just for a moment, and you notice that Eku is not in the group of people as you are talking. She is giving off a faint glow as the fireflies kind of give you a bit of a lighting. She gives off a faint glow as you see her kind of standing next to the river.
I was taught
Kiss
these
the
things.
girl.
I was taught these things take time, but perhaps I will take your advice on it. I will speak to her soon. In fact, I will speak to her now. And I'll saunter away from the group.
How
Okay.
many?
And I'll just pat you on the shoulder and hand you 2 bowls of.
2 bowls of food. Okay.
Ah, nice.
And you. Let's go ahead. Sorry.
It was just I was boiling those root thingies.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how many vials they get of, like how many portions.
You
Did I get
from the
that?
size of it, I would say you would get pretty much 2 servings of
2 servings.
of the root in order to have the effect that it needs.
And then I would just call that tomb root.
2
mixture.
2 servings of tome root. And it has oh shoot, I'm on the wrong page. It is advantage against poison saves
Yeah.
for 24 hours.
Alright.
Okay. Kalimbar, as you begin to approach the riverbed or the riverside, you notice Eku is actually taking off her top. She is beginning to undress very slowly, but she is undressing, not noticing that you're even approaching.
Turning around in shame.
Okay.
Oh, wait, she's gonna jump in the poisonous water.
She is going to, if you're just turning around, for the time being, she is getting undressed and then walking into the river and beginning to wash herself. She is not, of course, dunking her face or head into it, but she is washing herself.
As I pass one of the bowls back to Safi, as I said, it takes time, and I walk into the jungle line in shame.
He walks a good distance before realizing there's no jungle around, and then he's just standing in the middle of the field like...
Oh well, I may as well eat.
He sits down on a stump he
Just
finds.
standing there on your own, eating in the middle of the
Yes.
Oh, like with just fireflies all around.
Yeah, I was about to say fireflies landing on top of your head and your shoulders.
Yes. I'm like
Eventually...
beacon of firefly.
Eventually, after a good 10-15 minutes, actually, by the time you get out to the middle of the field, Eku has finished her bath and has begun to dry off and place her clothes back on and make her way back to camp.
That's actually a pretty good idea. I'll do that too.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I still need a bath, and I smell a little bit.
Yeah, and she will just smile as she sees everybody kind of getting the same idea, and she says, just be careful not to dunk your head.
Of course.
See, now is a good
I'm
time
thinking-
when everyone's bathing. Kalamar is going CToTToA.
Yes.
She very lately comes to the fire, and she finds kind of like one more serving of the soup as everybody else goes to gather for a bath. And you guys, being that you've already seen each other naked, you're like, woo! Like you jump in the river.
Aelin hasn't.
I'm not going in the water. I'll go.
You have now.
I'm going into the fireflies and meditating, and I'll try some other animal shape.
Okay,
That's
I'll yell
so
out
But
at Katie to stay where we can see her.
Yeah, I'm not going too far away.
okay, yeah, you kind of just step right outside of camp, not too far. Aelin, yeah, you haven't seen everybody
Yeah.
naked, but
No.
but I mean,
Nobody.
I'm not saying that you have to get. I'm not saying you have to get naked to take a bath. Also, so you know, you do what you guys do.
I know, but Aelin would be a little bit shy at first. He sees like everyone just jumping in, and I'm like, oh, okay. That's probably just like undressed behind like one of the canoes.
Yeah, you place your very expensive like slippers kind of like to the side.
Exactly.
Hide behind a fireball.
Minor illusion.
Eku will again scrape out the last bit of soup and kind of place it in her lap and begin eating by the firelights. Her hair kind of damp from the water and fireflies still like floating through the air.
And I will join her.
Okay,
Like I
and-
imagine there are still like 10 or 20 fireflies in my hair somehow.
Yeah, they've entangled themselves in your long locks. Yeah, sure. As you kind of shake your head and fireflies kind of fly out. And
So
Echo
Echo-
will like see you approaching, and she kind of like scoots over on the log that she's sitting on.
This is a lovely place. Sorry, I just noticed that's good. I can't believe
What? I missed it. What happened?
she's like,
Oh yeah.
What's going
Believe me, the little girl in me is doing the same thing. So carry on.
alright. This is a very lovely place you've found for this rat.
Ubtal provides for all of us.
How do you think our journey is going so far? Except for Aiden's little stunt, of course.
That and outside of your little snake venture, I say it's pretty good. Ubtal's children has shown us their power, and we have shown them ours, and I believe there is a balance of sorts.
Yes. That thing you did with the dinosaur, what was that like? What did you do exactly? You seem to calm it down quite nicely.
I have somewhat of a connection, you could say, to Ubtal. He seems to grant me his kindnesses at times.
I know what that's like.
I'd like to know a lot more about you as well.
But you can ask me anything.
Well, let's start off Kalambar of Clear. Where does this name come from? Where are you from?
I am. There is this complete other continent way up north from here, I think. And there, somewhat near the coast, there lies a big village of humans and big cities, almost like Port Nyanzara. But beyond that, in the forest, there lies the town of Tanamar. It is the home of my people. And it's
You live
protected.
amongst the trees.
We live amongst the trees, yes. Our homes are built among the branches. My family protects us as well as we can. And over the centuries, my ancestors have earned the right to speak to the dragon that protects us.
You keep saying dragon as if it's normal. That's incredible.
He is. It's not a sight you quickly forget. Not unlike you.
Well, I've heard many stories of these creatures that you speak of, but it would be wonderful to see them in person. Uptao's children are wonderful themselves, but I've always dreamt of seeing different things.
What is the thing you most want to see?
I'm sorry?
What is the thing you most want to see?
Oh, well, it comes from my upbringing, really. You see, as a young girl, I was always filled with wonder. My mother, she had raised me herself, as my father fell very ill early in my life. She raised me to know the importance of loving oneself, no matter who you were. With that confidence of knowing one's self-worth, no one can make you feel worthless. My mother, she was a great woman. She ended up also falling ill, just as my father had, many years beforehand. After her passing, I struggled to find my place in Port Nyanzaru. To pass the time, I would spend many a nights just outside the city borders, alone, lying in the canopy of the trees, watching the stars, and listening to all of Uptao's children as they roam the jungles below me. Sune has been very good to me, and I have dedicated my life to helping restore these lands and ancient ruins so that the spirits of nature can return to these sacred places and live the rest of their days in peace. Believe in yourself. Have faith in your abilities. Your group shows great potential.
They do.
Also show faith in your goddess. She will return the favor to you in multitudes, as Uptao and Sune have done to me. And she will finish up her soup.
Yes. I can only hope so. And then I'll sit quietly.
She'll smile at you, and she'll kind of place her hand on your shoulder and kind of just like rub your shoulder for a second and then stand up. And she goes, I think I'm going to go ahead and rest for the night. I will see you in the morning, Kalamba of Clear.
I will tell you of any dreams I may.
Very good. Good night.
Good night.
And Katie, off in the field, meditating inside of the falling fireflies, you concentrate and you concentrate and you concentrate. And you begin to feel your hand shift and mutate as you have before in different manners. And again, you shift, and finally your body, and you're mastiff. It's not exactly what you're looking for, but it's not a bear.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Yes, Cecilia. Okay, yes, Katie.
Yeah. I'll just go into camp and like sit next. Oh wait. Sit next to lie next to Kalimbar, by the fire. Just.
Okay. Kalimbar, as Eku leaves, approaching you is Katie as a mastiff, and you know her now as this creature. So.
New trick, huh?
Old trick, Baxis. New skin.
sits down and kind of lays down next to you, Kalimbar.
I'll pet her. Like, scratch behind the ear.
Cecilia, yes.
I'd like to do 2 things. I'd like to take a moment to draw the field with the fireflies as well as I can. So
Okay.
I only have a pencil. So.
No problem.
And I also want to attempt to fiddle more with the codex.
Okay, every time you try to fiddle with the codex, or nightly, if you want to fiddle with the codex, go ahead and roll a d20 and let me know that you're doing that.
Okay, I'm doing that now. That's a 1.
Woof. The codex seems to get harder. Like, you thought you had it, and then it's like, what the fuck? It's like, I don't know how this got harder, but like, it just got harder.
Curse it. Okay, that's it.
Is there anything else you guys would like to do now that you've all taken a bath? Kalimbar, I assume, would you like to bathe as well? As you see the rest of the group also bathing?
Yeah, bathing is part of my morning ritual. Like,
Okay, good.
Quick question: If I bathe in like animal, does that like
Does it translate over?
does it translate? Because I'm just excited to be.
Yeah, we'll say that you don't transform the mud that was on you when you transform over. So yes, yeah, it would translate over.
Okay, then I'll go have fun in the water.
You see your doggy paddling out in the water as she
Suddenly a random mastiff runs in.
Yeah.
so-
Oh yeah. If you're still in water, yeah, I just like.
Yeah.
You see it from the shore and you're kind of startled at first, but then you see it kind of like just playfully paddling around.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell is a dog doing in
Yeah.
in the
Alan's
jungle?
probably like putting on his clothes and suddenly like a random mastiff past him is like, what the
I
hell?
take his shirt and went into her. Like I just like as a dog would, I just take his shirt and like
Yeah.
take off with it.
So as the mastiff comes, I'm like, oh hell no, and going to like dress up. And people who were bathing not too far from me could have noticed that I have a really big scar on the upper back, like a really big something went wrong.
So yeah, it would be either Safi, Bax, or Aelin, and Cecilia that would have been able to see that.
And the mastiff now, but as soon as I see the mastiff, I'm like,
Yeah, but the massive, you're like,
"What
what?
that?" Yeah, no,
From where
no,
to
I'm
where?
like above, pretty much all the length of my how do you say it in English?
Spine?
No, not all the length of the spine, just the thing that makes your shoulder
blades?
rotate. Yeah,
The
yeah,
shoulder blades. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much at the same place between the two of them, but the same length.
As if it was like wings. Like in this.
Oh, no, not really. Just like if something struck me there.
Oh, okay. I just got excited for a second.
I'm not that
Same.
cool yet. Maybe one day.
You just see people backstory.
Yeah.
So yeah, as the
Scribble.
mastiff comes to me, I'm like, fuck, I'm just waiting to leave.
Okay. And you make
Back
your
to
way
the
out.
camp.
The dog jumps in. Everybody else, you make your way out. Is there anything else anybody would like to? Yes. Safi,
I would like to do the normal evening things.
you got
Read
it.
the book, make the map, take the.
You got it.
Do I still have Aelin's book?
No.
No, Aelin, yeah. He just kind of showed
Right.
you.
I've been reading it, so
I try to. Oh, I'll just walk over to
You can
and
attempt to
ask you if I-
translate some. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
but only if you let me see the book. So I'll ask that.
I mean, sure. If I'm not reading it, you can certainly read it as well.
Okay, so I'll grab the book and see if I can make something up.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a. Since it would be kind of like translating. Let's see, what would be the best roll for translating something? I'm thinking history or.
Intelligence check, just in an average intelligence.
Investigation?
Intelligence?
Yeah, like an investigation intelligence check.
Yeah,
We'll say that.
investigation.
Yeah.
10.
Is that a
Should
10?
I be
Okay.
rolling? Should I be rolling those as well as I'm looking at the book, or?
You can only because of Wakanga's description of the location.
Yeah.
Go ahead, and also you can do the same investigation as you compare your memory with the map and just trying to find out where the hell he was saying it
Come on, dice.
would be.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's 16.
16? Okay, so with the help of Safi, sitting there both trying to figure out what's going on with this book and translating it and everything like that. Safi, you do pick out a few words because of the familiarity that he's been trying to tell you. You pick out the word Vorn. You do understand the word Vorn. And you understand also just a few of the common words like the, at, a, is in the language that you are trying to understand. Other than that, at this point right now, you do not fully understand it. But Aelin, with your knowledge of what was told to you by Wakanga, you will, let's see, be able to point out on the map now Vorn. And Vorn will be right here.
Well, we have to zoom out of the map though.
No, you should. It's pretty close to you guys, ish.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Do you?
Did
Oh,
you
I gotta uncover. I gotta uncover the location. Sorry, it's weird. It's a roll 20 thing, so I have to do different things here. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, how do you do this here? Is it objects? No. Yeah, it is objects. Holy crap. All right, so delete. Hey, there we go.
Oh, yeah, that is. Where are we going actually?
Oh, nice.
There you go. So you have uncovered the location of said whatever Vorn is.
Okay, cool.
Hmm.
Aelin would be
Well,
like,
they know.
"Oh, that's not too far out of our route. We
But
could
what is it?
stop by." Well, it's the location of someone or something that Wakanga is very interested in, and if I can find this it or he or she or whatever it is, I would be greatly rewarded. It has something to do with what I was told by Wakanga, is that this thing is like some controlling mechanism, or someone can control something powerful that Wakanga has been searching for. And he asked me to find it, if possible.
We could check it out, yes.
Yes, it's not that far from the river, so it should be maybe 3 days diversion of our track.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind.
Bax, did you want to do something before the night ends?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanna lay my hand on Belisra's shoulder and be like, can we talk?
I will remove me from your touch. And I will say, of course. Yes.
I'll just like go to the edge of camp, not so we can't like go far away, but just so we're not at the campfire.
Sure.
I'll follow in dog form and like sit next to Bax, like support. But on the other side of Brelissa, because she seems very uncomfortable with the dog.
Okay.
Yeah, so Bax is not looking at you at all, just like fiddling with something, like just the edge of her shirt or something.
Okay.
She
no,
looks
I would,
ashamed.
I would look you like dead in the eye, like.
Yeah, I'm not looking at you. You will not
Okay.
catch anything.
I'll just nudge your leg.
And I'll be like, the other day I cast that spell to see whether or not the snake was good or bad,
Oh yes.
but also to see whether or not you were.
And what is the verdict of your god?
Well, you didn't ping, so you're
Ping?
not evil, at least. Yeah, what I call it when I can detect whether or not evil or good about. But
Okay.
it makes me nervous or scared that you are very and seems weird. But then again, what is? And I just wanted to hear if you tell me.
That my skin is cold.
Yeah, why is that?
I'm kind of surprised that you asked me why my skin is before why my eyes are so weird for a human. That's fine. I
Your eyes doesn't
suppose
scare me. It's just your whole yeah. Nope.
as long as you're not in my way, you have nothing.
You cut out.
Oh, sorry about that. I said as long as you do not provoke me or not in my way, you have nothing to be afraid. But what?
I was just gonna say, but what is
What is my what? It cut. Sorry.
your way? What is your way?
My way. My way is to discover what this death curse is.
Mm. Yeah. Too.
But I suppose my condition has to go with the magical powers I have discovered that are in my veins. I guess it makes my skin cold. My eyes look like this. And of course, and I will just look like a cut I had in the jungle or something whatsoever, like a branch or whatever on my arm, and I will like show it to you, and visibly, even if I press it, it does not bleed. And that is kind of what happened to my body as a consequence of this power being in my possession, I suppose. It all happened at the same time when I did discover my powers, so I suppose it's linked.
I don't know what to say. I just yeah. Katie said that it's better to tell you rather than talk about you behind your back. You've
Oh,
been so good to us.
that is one of the first time I hear that in my entire life. I'm not
Really?
used to being good or something. I'm used to, well, you know, basically the rest. But, yeah.
I know what it's like when people.
What was that? I missed that
I
last
know
part.
what it's like when people look weird at you.
Aren't you so precious?
I don't know. I just wanted to.
Well, thank you for talking of this with me instead of behind my back and assuming things. That is the wise decision to make. Even if I did scare you, you
You
went
still
for
scare me.
it. That is a good thing. Always be scared of people and of everyone.
May I ask how you got
How I go on?
your powers, magic?
Well, I think I have died once. And eventually I woke up like this. And I had some powers with it.
Do you remember? Or?
I remember a sharp pain in my back. I remember feeling dizzy, falling continuously, like hours. I never hit the ground, but everything was so cold and so dark, but not scared, strangely. I have been scared all my life up until this point, and I couldn't feel fear at that point either. I only felt resurgence, renewal, and I stood up to be changed like this, and with it, my fear was gone. with this new learned power. So now I decided to take the reins of my life and advance instead of hiding.
I can tell you that you are not undead.
No,
So you're still human.
I'm
just
not undead, no.
All your extra power.
I can somehow survive things that would kill other people, it seems. I don't think I died. I think this power saved me and spawned when I needed it most.
Do you think you got it from?
If I what?
Did you get it from something, or?
I think it was just there. I don't know what triggered it, what happened with it. It just happened, and I believe it did save my life. Or brought me back to life. I don't know the termination still works. I just know. I just do it. I couldn't explain it to you.
Okay. Thank you for trying.
You're so very welcome. And
I'll-
please don't be a mastiff all too often. It's super creepy.
I'll change.
One more time. Oh, it's.
Yeah, I said don't be a mastiff that often because it's super creepy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. I just.
You hear?
Oh no, I changed back.
Oh, okay.
I'll try and change back.
It's fine. I just really don't like dogs.
That's too bad.
No,
I'll
they're
give-
super weird.
I'll give Katie a shoulder bump like that.
Yeah, I'll give you a hug.
And I will shake your hand back without gloves or anything. With a
Thank
super cold touch, like corpse-like touch would be felt upon your hand, but visibly. I do eat and sleep and drink, so I'm not dead yet.
I'll shake your hand. Thank you
Great.
again, Melissa. Tight.
No problem, but you are super warm. Don't you think you might have a fever? And I will let you go.
And like
Alright.
when as soon as Melissa's out of earshot, I'll say to you, that was a joke. That was sarcasm.
Yeah, I don't think I can.
What? What?
Sorry?
No, I really
Melissa,
think she might have a
you-
fever.
No, she waited. She waited till you walked away, Belisra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just to explain that there was. She didn't mean it literally.
All right, and as you guys all gather for the night to get a decent night's rest, with a beautiful night coming to an end because the weather, the temperature, and everything just perfect, the fireflies begin to diminish in short bursts and end up going back down into their grassy homes. The night begins to take full effect, and that is where we will end tonight's session.
Yeah. Cool
Nice.
session, guys.
Yeah.
All the backstory.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
lots
it
of
was-
backstory.
I have to
So
like
much
type
backstory.
all of this stuff.
Yeah,
That was real nice.
Yeah.
I'll put this up
Also
as soon as I can.
emotional.
Yeah,
What?
that
So
too.
cool.